men need to know how to sift through women
who've done
and
the
know
work,
who
yeah.
they're choosing.
Yeah.
Because too many times, lust is what's leading them. Lust is the only thing that's carrying their decision and their thought process. But instead, they should chill, be friends. There are some wicked, and let
out
me
there.
emphasize, wicked men that use their resources, use their time to kind of control a woman.
I will never have a baby mum because it's not me. I'm
No,
sorry, because it's not
Yeah.
me that's gonna be sitting around the dinner table with my wife.
someone knocking
and
the door.
kids, and then I'm getting a knock on my door with some woman standing outside angry asking about money. It's not me that's getting that disruption. I'm not doing it.
You're the man. You're taking lead. You're supposed to lead this
So we're
environment.
meant to be superior.
No, no, no!
Welcome to Insight with Ayo. We're back again and we have a fantastic episode today. Today is about when you plan for your marriage. No, when you plan for your wedding, but not your marriage. So today I've got some well-esteemed guests, friends, who are going to tell you who they are. And I think we're going to have a very, very, very fantastic conversation that you guys have probably had in secret in your household, but we're going to have it openly today. So without further ado, I'll start from my right all the way to my left. Introduce yourself, tell the people
I'm
your name.
Akeem. I'm in project management and I'm married.
Cool.
Okay. I'm Jazzmine. I'm a lifestyle, relationship, and fashion influencer, and I'm married.
Obviously, I'm your host, Ayo, your favorite financial advisor. You know what I do, and I'm married.
My name is Taila. I work as an AI technical director and I'm divorced.
Well, there you have it. Everyone here has been married before, so we have a valid perspective. So this is not going to be one of those episodes like, you know, when you have single people telling you about how to navigate marriage and they've never been married. So this one's actually going to make sense.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, because that's what happens. Like I've been seeing on social media every other day, some single girl that hasn't had a boyfriend in 7 years telling you what a right relationship looks like.
Yeah.
You think it's right that someone that
No,
has
not
no experience.
necessarily. Remember, I'm just saying that there might be someone who's been in a long-term relationship, but not necessarily married.
That means they're not qualified because it's a long-term
No,
relationship.
You need to understand. No. We have to, be honest. Not everybody aspires to be married.
Yeah.
Let's get that straight.
Only
And it
said by
doesn't
people that haven't been married.
No, it doesn't invalidate their stance because they still understand the concept of, a long-term relationship. It's still the same principles, but we just, obviously, I don't know if anyone's like religious here, but as a Christian, that would be my foundation, and people, I guess, you guys, that's your foundation. So there's a different thing that's governing us. That's what I would say. But not everybody aspires to marriage.
So there you have it, guys. We haven't even started and we started.
So,
Yeah,
so wait,
Before we make it,
wait,
let me
So-
tell them what the episode's about.
Wait,
Let me
go,
tell them
go,
what we're
go,
going to cover.
Go.
So, as the time goes, we're going to basically be talking about the differentiation between planning for a wedding, planning for marriage, as well as emphasizing the importance of the preparation. We'll cover things like communication, as well as, the financial aspects, mental aspects, and everything above. What did you want to
so
say
my
now?
objection.
Now that they know.
So
what
are
I'm
you
saying.
saying that common law is the same as marriage? Because in Jamaica, common law is when you've lived with someone for like 10 years. So you've been in a 10-year committed relationship, but it's not married. So for example, if you're in a 10-year relationship with someone, it's common law. So if you separate, you can have some sort of...
Oh, really?
It's not alimony and it's not like the same because you're not married. There's no legally binding document.
Yeah.
But if you were to go to court, you'd have some...
Leverage. So
Yeah.
what do you refer to that person as? Like
Common law
mutually
wife.
you might...
It'll be a common law wife if you've been together for 10, 15
Sounds
years.
a bit loose,
But you're
isn't
not married.
Okay, I've never heard of that
Yeah.
before.
So you are a recognized side.
Basically, yeah.
So wait, what do you on forms?
No, it's
when
just-
you
it's-
so when you sign,
just-
do you know when you sign forms? It's like married, separated,
Yeah.
widow, divorce. Are you married? Do you take married?
No. So common law is basically you've
So
cohabited.
is that an option?
No, it's not an option. It's just like you've cohabited for a long time together.
But
So
you're,
you're no longer
single.
Yes,
Oh,
but it's common law. So it's like you've been together for a long period of time, but you're not married.
is it a respected title? Like, can you be like, hi, this is my common
To people
law
who,
wife.
Yeah,
who
exactly.
don't have
My
rings.
Common law wife. What the hell?
No, it's respected
My
by
CLW.
women who aren't married. So a woman that hasn't gotten that final step of commitment
Yeah.
would be, okay, I'm his common law wife, so I might
But
not
she's not
need
going to
that.
walk around and say that.
No, I watched the video yesterday. So there's
Giving
a
Tara
Jamaican
and Amina.
influencer that lives in
Yeah.
the same area that I grew up in Jamaica.
Okay.
He had a big party, and one of the influencers that came up on stage with him, she was talking about her and her partner.
Yeah.
And then the interviewer asked her, so when are you guys going to tie the knot? She's like, we've been together for 15 years. That's still her man. And she's common law at this point. So she doesn't need a ring as an extra form of commitment.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think with the concept now of being common law.
Yep.
What would be the reasons for somebody being common law? Is it like what you were saying about maybe they just don't have that religious foundation?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, yeah, if you don't have that religious,
But you're still not married.
But then
that's
I
what I'm
think
saying.
for
Some
me, it's
people
not
don't-
about the
yeah.
title of being a wife. It's not what you were saying about the commitment behind it. Because if you have two people that are atheists in love,
Yeah.
should they now conform to religious aspect that doesn't adhere to them, and should they be less respected?
Exactly.
It's not about should, it's what's going to
Yeah.
happen. It's like, should poor people be less respected? No, but society just society will do what
Yeah.
society does. And in saying that, what I wanted to ask you lot is, what do you think about how society often focuses more on the wedding day rather than the commitment of marriage? Because let's face it, girls are trying to end up on Bella Niger by fire by force. Like, you know, they're going through, I went to this person's wedding, the food weren't this, so I'm going to make sure my food is this. I went there, the decor wasn't like this. And at the end of the day, what's the forefront of women's mind? Not all, because obviously I know there's people that don't have common sense that watch this and aren't able to decipher between, you know, what we're saying. Not all, for those people that say not all, it's been addressed. But for the vast majority, or in a general consensus, the focus is just that day, how good I'm going to look on that day, and not I'm going into a lifelong commitment that's for the benefit of family.
I think when it comes to, like, I'm Ghanaian, so we naturally come from a culture where your weddings are in your diary, your engagement is celebrated anyway. I wouldn't say that a lot of women focus on the day and not actually the marriage, because I think due to like internalized misogyny, like patriarchal mindset that a lot of African women have, they understand the hurdles that will come with having to stick by a man.
Yeah.
So if anything, the wedding day is just the one small enjoyment that you are going to have, because you don't know what you're going to have in your wedding. I think it's only now maybe the younger generation, and with the rise of social media, the influx of like people wanting to marry for materialistic reasons, I would then say that people are focusing on the Bella Niger aspects. But I think in my generation, I'm 31, we've seen a lot of our mums and aunties, dare I say it, suffering marriages. The traditional aspect is just, it is what it is. So I wouldn't say that people focus on, I think people focus on how their wedding will look for Instagram. But I think a lot of women deep down, we know what can happen in a marriage. So they're in it for the long haul in that sense.
So obviously I'm speaking for my own and those that have shared their experience with me. So why, when women are confronted with the demands of catering for a guy, you're surprised and you're shocked and you're...
Say that again?
Yeah,
So you're saying that women are, you don't just look for the wedding day, you look beyond the wedding day, right? So you know everything that comes with catering for a household and catering for a guy. Okay. Why are you then surprised? Like, let's just be blatant. When a guy says, one day a week don't work for me, why are you surprised?
When you say catering, what are you adhering to? Sexual?
For example, there's many. Sexual is just one of them.
Yeah.
Let's just pick that one.
Okay.
If you already have marriage in mind and not just your wedding day, you would know that your husband would need to be satisfied in that aspect.
Oh, you're talking about that?
Yeah. So if you're mentally prepared for marriage, right, and a happy home, you know that in that aspect, you might not want it 3 times a week, right? You might want it once, but there's compromise from you in that aspect because you've already prepared for marriage, or you already have marriage on your mindset.
I think,
but a lot of wives, obviously not like my experience and my friends' experience that are married, it's often that, oh, I'm tired, I'm this, I'm that.
No,
you don't think
okay, so let me interject here, right? I would honestly say a lot of the problems when it comes to that side of a marriage stems from the woman not being happy.
Yes.
Because you can't just expect something, but you haven't, planted the correct seeds along the way. In the day, you need to be doing certain things. You need to show
in the bedroom.
No, even that. But that's even the foreplay. That's if she's even open. Because if you haven't been doing the right things, and I don't want it to sound like, oh, you have to be on your best behavior to get something, because we all understand if you're someone's wife, if you're someone's husband, you shouldn't be weaponizing that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, she's not a robot. She has feelings, and there's just like when you was dating her, you know, you made her feel good. Like, you know what I mean? There was certain things you were doing to create that atmosphere.
Yeah.
So you have to cultivate an environment where she wants to. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel like that this topic is very, it's a very,
That's
very
what I was saying,
it's a very,
Do you know what? Yeah, even to like add to that as well, I feel like what I've seen in a lot of, I would say, modern marriages is that men are coming into the marriage with their dad's mindset that was back in the day, but they don't have the mindset to understand that when a woman can sexually give, apart from feeling emotionally supported, she has to be well rested.
Yeah.
We don't live in a society that allows women to be well rested. So like my mom was a house mom, so I don't know their sex life, but if she were to kind of like fulfill my dad's needs, it's because she's at home with the kids, my dad is paying the bills. But now we live in a society where the woman's working 40 hours a week, you're working 40 hours a week, maybe you come home later, she's at home with the kids, and then you're just like, hey babe, I want some. So I think it's just about, it's understanding that balance. But even if you are in a household where there isn't that aspect of traditional financial support, I think we need to get into a time where men need to be a bit more emotionally aware.
Yeah. And it needs to change. Like, I'm so sorry. Just because you financially provide, it doesn't mean that that justifies the reason that she has to give up herself. I don't understand that concept because what that has done, in my opinion, is it makes men refrain from showing all the other attributes that are necessary, like emotional intelligence, like consideration, like, you know, there's just certain things that I feel like you need to be doing to feel connected to your partner. And I feel like intimacy is something that it's more than, okay, this is what I do for you, so you have to do this for me. And if you start putting finances into it, I'm sorry, to me that's a bit
Giving modernized sex work.
Question. You used the word emotional intelligence. And I believe in this day and age, definitions of words, meaning of words have been lost. I've seen numerous times where someone just says a word that has a particular meaning, attributes it to something else, and they don't even understand the definition of that word. They just say it. Like one time I saw on social media, someone said that it's great if, and it wasn't great. It was just they just felt that this thing, I just don't like it, so therefore it's now great. Or like, for example, where we use the word, you know, narcissistic. If you actually look at what the word narcissism means, right? What it would be attributed to isn't narcissism. It's just, you just don't like what's happened. And I feel like nowadays, when someone doesn't like something, they use a terrible word that means something else. So to circle it back to emotional intelligence to me has now been something that people say when they feel like, when they just feel emotional. So how do I explain? To me, emotional intelligence is me knowing that, right, I can regulate and control my emotions.
Basically, yeah.
However, nowadays, someone will say that they're emotionally intelligent when I pander to your emotions. Does that make sense? So because I know you're going to feel a way about something that has to be done, don't actually lie.
I don't think that's, I get what you mean, but I don't even think it's that. I think it's understanding the person that you have chosen to do life with. I genuinely believe there has to be times in the relationship where you're just like, you know what, because of wisdom, I'm going to leave you with that one. I think that's wisdom. And that's you understanding that, you know, your woman might be in a certain mindset at this moment, and here is not the right time to talk to her. So it's not that you've just let it and you've lied. You've given it time, and that's emotional intelligence. That's it in an actionable form. You've given it time, and you've gone back to her when you realize, okay, I can see that you're not... You're a bit more calm now. Let's talk it through. That, to me, that's more so emotional intelligence, because you're showing in your actions that I am mindful of how you're... but do you see, because let me just make this clear though, because sometimes when it's like, I'm just not pandering to your emotions or what you want, that can become very combative. And that's just going to cause bigger problems. So you have to sometimes, and she will do it. There'll be times where it'll be you and her. But I feel like that's emotional intelligence in its actual form. Knowing how to deal with the person that you're with, knowing what they're like, knowing what triggers them, knowing, okay, when she's acting like this, that is because I know this is coming from her inner child. That's coming from a place that maybe even me, I don't even know how I have the capacity to deal with that. So I need to give her time to regulate that. And then I'm going to deal with her. Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense. So my question now is, right, for how long? So let me ask. So, no.
Yeah, it's true. That's a good one.
I don't disagree with anything you said.
Yeah.
Everything you said is sound. It's
Yeah.
logical. It
Yeah.
makes sense. You wish all women were sound, logical, and made sense.
Yeah, at
But
times.
we know in this life that's not how it works. Now the question is how long? Because let's say it was the man now, right? And he acts out of character. He does things that's unbecoming because he's in some emotional state.
Yeah, it's not allowed.
Let's be like. Do you know
I
what I
think
mean?
there's boundaries in every single situation. Let's not make it seem like, okay, it's one-sided. There's boundaries. If a man's going to react to you and how he reacts, I feel like there's more of an onus on how he's going to behave, because you can come, I feel like a man, if he behaves in a certain way, a woman can feel like, you know, there's so many things that a woman can feel. So you have to be, you're the man. You're taking lead. You have chosen to, you're supposed to lead this environment.
So we're meant to be superior.
No.
You trying to catch her? You can't have one without Jazzmine. We ain't having one without the other.
That to me. No.
You just said there's a higher expectation on the man. That's what you said without saying it.
Gotcha. Listen, you know.
That's what you just said. You said, oh, when the woman's doing this and that, you need
I'm
to
not saying that
navigate the
because you're not
situation
gonna
with
make it
wisdom.
seem-
Because you're the one that's meant to take the lead and this and that.
I'm just saying, if you want to go by the saying that men are more logical than women, and women can be very emotional.
We know on a general basis that's true.
You
I
want
think so.
to, if you want to go with that, I think there is an onus on you. You've taken up that mantle. You've taken up that position as, you know what, the more, because from my own experience, I will just say this. Prior to meeting my husband, I was a very, I want to say like cutthroat, sort of didn't want to run away sort of person. I was that sort of person. I would say how gentle my husband has dealt with me, and just the way in which he acts and how he deals with conflict, it's changed me. And I've learned that solely through how he behaves. So he is setting the tone,
point.
and without him telling me, don't do that, don't be like this. No.
Yeah.
Lead by
I'm
example.
literally learning through his grace and love. And that to me is what is helping me become a better woman. And in that, I'm growing to adore him more, if that makes sense. Because
Big
I'm
up Jasmine's husband. You did the right thing.
I'm seeing how it's changing me. And I just think that's with men. I feel like if men learn how to be more gentle in their approach, not all men, because some men are very gentle, but I'm saying if they learned that, you would soften your wife in a way where you would actually be getting the things you want from them in an easier way. And you're both enjoying life. You're both enjoying enjoyment. You don't need to fight each other, then make
But one
up, then
person
fight.
is constantly having to be gentle while somebody else is up here and wait for you to come down here. What if it takes 2 years for you to come down here?
But
Right. but then I guess the question would be, did you not see this before you got married?
Yes.
Do women show their true colours
Yes.
before marriage?
Yes.
That is
That is
What?
a
I
$1 billion
agree.
question. That's going to
Women
circle
show
back
true
in this
colours.
conversation.
I agree.
You know?
I agree with that one. I agree. I don't care what you say. I know for a fact how I am in my marriage. My husband saw it before he married me.
So you're saying what you see has been shown to you?
Yeah,
What you
basically.
see.
Yeah, and it's just like even
Yeah.
with him, I knew why I chose him. If that makes sense, because I knew I had done enough work in my mind and on myself to know I've experienced something else. But you see here, I need someone gentle, level-headed, a temperament that is calm. I had analysed things and analysed myself in such a way that I knew what I needed to complement me as a person.
Yeah, but does that go for you? So to me, it sounds like you are the hothead and you need someone that's a bit. No, that's what it sounds like to me.
No.
But not every woman is the hothead. What if the woman needs a bit of listen?
But I don't think it's that I'm the hothead. What it is I think that you see me, you can't just tell me this is why you have to do something like that. You need to make sure you can evidence that. You can tell me why I need to do
need to be
something.
able to
I need
articulate
logic
well.
because the thing is, how my brain works is I feel like I build my opinions and everything based on like real life experiences. I don't regurgitate what people are telling me. I've never lived my life like that because I grew up in a household where my dad constantly told me, Jazzmine, what do you think? So when I would and he would be like, no, stop. Don't ask me no questions. I want you to sit there. What is your spirit telling you? So I've grown up to be very assured of myself. So you see, when you come into my life and you're trying to show me a different way, I need you to be able to show me why I need to make that change. If I've been living my life for this long and it's been fine, I need to understand why I'm making this change with you. Not because I'm saying I won't, because what good is a mind if it can't change? But
Good saying.
no, but it's true
good
because
saying.
the truth is, all it is just make me understand your world, make me understand what you are telling me. That's all. And I'm malleable to move, but I'm not just gonna be like, yeah, you're the man.
So what you're saying sounds
listening.
like you not programming, but you got your training from your dad. What about the girls who do not have a father to give them that male role model, or what is accepted? Because you're saying, because of how your dad raised you, this is what you're expecting from a man, which is good. We praise your dad, thank God.
We praise your
your dad
Jazzmine's family just getting best praise on YouTube, like.
You know what I'm saying? The dad did his job. But there's loads of girls out here that there's no father figure there. So then what you're saying, the men who marry those girls shouldn't get married.
No.
So the man who married those girls,
but
obviously they don't have a father figure to look like a male role model.
So from your experience, do you feel like there is a difference in women who grew up with fathers versus the ones that didn't?
Yes,
big difference.
The reason why I would say I think that. Now, again, we have the anomalies. I swear, it's almost like social media and online content has a lot of anomaly believers as watchers. Because everyone watching believes they're the anomaly to the situation. So I don't know you. I'm just saying what I've seen. What I believe is the people that haven't grown up with a father figure, in comparison to the people that have, when they meet men later on down the line, when they become adults.
So when you say father figure, do you mean in the home or just in general?
In the home, in the home.
Yeah.
Their interactions with men and their interpretation of the interaction with the man is different. So, for example, this is what I think. A woman that has a father, when he corrects and he's like chastises, she knows it's out of love. You've experienced this. Not that it's when you've just married or you've just had a serious partner and he chastises you. He tells you the truth. He tells you you're wrong for these X, Y, Z reason out of love because he doesn't want you, to do something to your own detriment. You don't interpret that as, why is this guy controlling me? Why? Because you've experienced that. Versus
love that point.
The first time you're like, now imagine you live in a home where there's no man saying X, Y, Z.
You know what?
And all your experiences of men is someone trying to, sweeten you so they can get into your panties. The minute you marry someone that actually genuinely cares about you because he's married to you, he cares about your well-being, and he tells you the truth that what you think is right is actually wrong. It's like, wait, hold on, what's this?
I hear you, but I think maybe I don't just think it's if the man is in the home. I think it's having a present father, because I have a lot of people that I know.
present father.
I have a lot of people that I know, their dads were there, but the lack of connection, the things that they got up to outside of that house, and because there was no connection, and they ended up with issues where they looked for the dad they expected their dad to be. They looked for that in the men they went for. So even the dynamic that you start to create as an adult with these men, it's unhealthy, because look, I don't want my husband to be my dad, or be making me feel like I'm subdued to him. Does it make sense? I want to feel like you understand the value I bring, and that we complement each other as equals. That's how I need to feel. But sometimes when you go into a situation from a place of my dad wasn't there, and obviously you haven't done the work on yourself, subconsciously, as I spoke about earlier, the inner child, she shows up. So when he turns around and he might be angry with you, and he maybe doesn't give you that time of day, your abandonment wound and rejection wound comes up again, and it's here, and you haven't taken the time to process that was you as a little girl, wondering, why does my dad not love me? Why has my dad left me? Why is my dad not, if he's in the house, why can't I connect with my dad? Why does that dad take this my friend to her cheerleading class, but my dad doesn't. He doesn't. So I think there's so much to unpack when it comes to this, because it's delicate. I think that's why when you build a life with someone and you decide that you're going to do life with someone, it's so important to understand the baggage they come with. And you need to know that they've done some work on them. They won't ever be perfect, but do they understand what these wounds have done to them? Do they understand they haven't just suppressed it? Because a lot in our culture, suppressing pain
it's a thing, innit?
I don't even know how to deal with because I find that so hard, because I can speak to people that I love, and I know when they're suppressing their pain. And because I've just learned over time how to deal with people, I know how to handle them in that moment. But trust and believe, I will go back to that point with you, because I love you enough to want to see that you're healed. But that, in our culture, that's one thing that I think is perpetuating the cycle of pain, and people are becoming the parents they said they didn't want to be because of it.
Also, to add to that as well, it's like I've grown up with a lot of friends that maybe they have had present fathers in the house, but the structure of their house is very matriarchal, which can also go against them as well. So you've got fathers in the house, but essentially they're very effeminate, where it's like the mum runs everything. So then these women, they grow up and they get into relationships with boys that are men that are basically still boys. So I feel like it's about having a present father in the house, or just having present male figures around you that are healthily in their masculine. Because I read a good quote that says, we teach boys not how to be women, but that's where it stops. We don't teach boys how to be men. Boys don't cry, but what do men do?
Oh, wow, yeah.
You go like, nobody knows, in it. So I think there's a lot of spiritual and healing work that needs to be done. People need to still be like rootly in their divine feminine or divine masculine. At the moment, we just don't have that in society. So I think if I were to do marriage again, which I don't know, but if I was to do marriage again, I think I would maybe approach it a bit more from a spiritual and moral alignment aspect. I don't think the culture as much. For me, culture is spirituality, not necessarily your color or your creed or where you come from.
Cool. I agree with that.
So question then, what are some of the red flags and warning signs? Because you said you knew that he was going to be like this. He knew you're going to be how you are. We've all said what you've seen, you should have known. And that $1 million question comes up. So you didn't know if it goes wrong. So what would we say are some of the red flags or warnings that this person or these people haven't prepared? Let's start with mentally for marriage, and they're just thinking of the wedding day.
Mentally, big one
for both men and women.
I have this saying, and it's an inside project. It's from here, and everything comes out, right? That is my biggest red flag, is when I see somebody that either avoids doing internal work, or when you try to get them to be vulnerable or speak to you about maybe their past and stuff like that. If I feel like they refrain from doing that, that's a red flag to me, because I now know that you're not ready to take that step, even in your own growth. Because I genuinely believe that, I'll give you an example. This is an easy example. So when you're dating, this is a good one. When you're dating and you're speaking to these different people, listen to what they're saying when they talk about their past experiences. See if they're very quick to talk about how bad that other person was. Is it all about them? And I can't stand, if there's one thing I don't like, is like the lack of self-awareness and accountability. Right?
Yeah.
Are you doing some women's course that we can just find a women in?
I got a quick question though.
It's coming.
I got a quick question. With your husband that you have right now, right? Was there a moment or in a conversation that you had with him where you said, okay, cool, my ex was shit, blah, 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 blah. Have you ever said to your husband that in this relationship that I had that didn't work with whoever, I realized that this is what I did wrong and this is what I did wrong. And these are the steps that I've taken to try and correct those issues.
That definitely happened, because what I done essentially when I first started, because if you guys don't know, my husband proposed within 5 months of us being together, right? But essentially what happened is I was very to the point, because my tolerance was low, very low. And but it had become low because essentially I'd gone through certain things and I was like, I've worked on myself and I'm not about to undo that work. So I said to him, I need to understand the traditions, because I'm with someone who's Ghanaian and I'm Jamaican. So these were the things I needed to understand, because I like peace of mind. I like peace of mind. So I said to him, I need to understand the traditions, and I need to understand what traditions you want to keep and not to keep when we choose to.
That's a good question, right?
That's a culture. I wanted to know about his culture. I wanted to know, so what do I need to take on? Because I'm learning. This is new for me. What do I need to take on that would make you happy, would make you proud? When I walk into functions with you, what do you want to see me do? Sort of thing.
100%.
Spoke to him about that. And then I spoke to him about his past. And I listened. I didn't tell him any of my thoughts about, if you do any of this, I swear you're about to spoil it. You're about to spoil it. But I asked him about his past. And what really struck me was the fact that he never spoke about how that person was this and that. He said he sees how what he had done could have been done differently, so that he didn't make that person feel that way. And I said,
Yeah, he's a good guy.
You're the man.
He's a good man.
He's a good man.
You're the guy.
But that was that's to just put it into perspective on how what I use to kind of suss a person out, because I won't always go directly to the question. I will ask questions around it to see how you give me information, because I understand when you interrogate men, they'll tell you what you want to hear.
Yeah.
But if you talk to them and you make them feel like you're having a chat,
They'll openly come out with the truth.
they just tell
That's
you.
such a good point. I think that's one thing for me. Like, people kept on asking me, like, since I got divorced, are you dating? And I said the reason why I don't feel like I'm ready to date is because I don't know how to explain the demise of my marriage without making him look like a villain and me a victim. And I feel like you should only be ready to date when you can talk about it from an aspect of neutrality. But there's also a very thin line, because divorce is a very delicate thing, and it's like, how do I not overshare, but at the same time give you enough information for you to kind of like suss out my character? So I think the difference between dating before is that you're allowed to kind of like take your time and overshare what you need in regards to your past relationships. But when you're divorced, it's people want to be like, whoa, you know, like I need to kind of like know now. So I think it's a very good point in making sure that you don't badmouth your ex, but at the same time, coming from a position where you're also not giving somebody the game book to play you. You get what I mean?
That one's very true.
Because there's some people that are actually crazy out there. Like, don't give them the game book to play you, but just come from a place of victor, if that makes sense.
But
What would you say is a red flag? What would you say is a red flag or a warning sign that, hey, look, this person ain't ready for marriage, you know, that you're dating?
I would say for me, their concepts and their understanding around mental health. And I think for me, everybody has mental health, but then it's like, if you have mental health, do you know your triggers? So I know for me, like back in the day when I would get emotional, I was the let me post a picture with Gene Aiko lyrics. Then it's like, you know what? I'm somebody's wife now, I can't really do that. Are you like, are you aware of your triggers? So I wouldn't date somebody who claims to have mental health but isn't aware of their triggers, if that makes sense. Another red flag would be parental kind of like relationships. People's marriages, parents' marriages aren't perfect, and that's fine. But I think I'm a big believer in you don't have to go through something to learn from it. You can use other people's stories as like as a
guide, wisdom.
as a guide, right? So if I know that there's certain things that's happened in his marriage or his parents' marriage, like infidelity, I think there's a way to kind of ask, oh, like, what did you feel like when your dad cheated your mom? And if he's like, that's my boy, like, obviously, like, she was bad at it, then you kind of know.
Then you know what to expect.
Like, you know, but I think sometimes it's like, if you understand people's family histories, how they react on a certain situation, it gives you an insight to their level of morality. Just like, so if I had a partner whose boy cheated on his wife, depending on how he acts, I can understand, okay, like, I understand your moral standpoint.
No, but I don't agree with that.
What do you mean?
If their relationship, right?
Yeah.
She like you said, you're supposed to know. What you see is what you get.
Yeah.
If I don't want to give any personal experiences because people might be watching, but if you're dating,
You don't want to tell no one secrets.
if you're dating A, right, and that's my boy.
Yeah.
Can't use AJ as an example because he's married. If you're dating Adrian single, you're dating Adrian. I know Adrian's a player, right?
Yeah.
If you're dating Adrian,
You're saying this as an example.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying he's
No. Because now,
no. Yeah, sorry. Adrian's not a player. Let me put it out there. Adrian's not a player. I'm just saying for this example.
This is a random name. So let's say Jimmy. Jimmy's your
So you're dating Jimmy, right?
Yeah.
Jimmy's my boy, and you're dating Jimmy. Jimmy's a cheater. You're with Jimmy. You're supposed to see it because you say what is it? What's been shown to you?
What you see has been shown to you.
What you see has been shown to you.
But
So
then
if you haven't seen the signs that you've been dating Jimmy for years,
depending on how you react to that, is the insight to your morality.
no, because if they're not
you know what I
married,
mean?
if they're not
No,
married,
if they're
and
married,
cheating,
if they're married,
oh, if they're married,
yeah. If your boy's cheating on his wife, you're like, yeah, obviously she knew.
No,
it.
but
no, can I interject as a woman?
Go on.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I wouldn't say that I would judge the guy based on how he reacts to his friend, because let's be honest. I have to be honest. I know that it would be wrong of me to expect him to like
be judgmental towards his friend.
Judgmental to his friend. I can't expect that from him, because it's like it's his life. I'm not
judgmental, but I think if I see that you're a bit too like excited,
no, the truth is, I get you, but the truth is,
excited.
no, the truth is, you're better off knowing how he would interact in those situations.
Yeah.
You know why?
Yeah.
Because the moment you start side-eyeing that, he's going to start lying to you. He's not going to
Yeah,
feel...
he's not gonna tell the
'cause
truth.
Do you know
Yeah.
what I realise is a really good thing? When your partner knows he's got a friend in you. Because
Yeah,
sometimes
a
that's
friend,
what
yeah.
gets lost in
Yeah.
relationships. It's like, you
The
don't feel like that.
concept of
I want to
friendship.
feel like my husband's bro to some
Yeah.
degree. Like, you need to be so comfortable. I like that he comes home and gists me. Like, I don't ever want to shut that down. So
Yeah.
I don't want to ever make him feel like, why
Yeah.
did you not? No, I
Yeah,
understand
yeah,
it's
yeah.
your friendship, and I get it. Some of my friends might do questionable things, but
Yeah.
I still love them the same, and I'm
Yeah.
not gonna change my heart towards them, and I'm not gonna make them feel like they can't speak to me.
Unless they leave your church.
Please don't do that, man. Don't, Liz, please, I'm not involved.
You know how it is, man.
I'm not involved.
You know sometimes you go to the church.
I think I'm missing something.
I'm not
I'm
involved.
just
I don't
saying,
know.
I'm just
I'm
saying.
missing something as well.
No, you're not missing something. You know exactly what I mean. We're talking about your heart
That
just
made me tell
changes
us to
towards
open
them
it.
like that. I'm just saying. I've seen a pattern where certain
not-
man.
I don't know what you're. I don't know why you're looking at me. I don't know what you're talking about.
You know exactly what I'm saying.
Please, I beg you. I would say it might sound
You're
bad,
a red
but
flag.
it depends on. Oh no, red flags. If the woman doesn't have any relationship with her dad, and the type of relationship that she has with her dad, and her
Why?
family,
Why?
because it's just my personal preference.
Explain it. I want to
So,
understand your thought process.
A bit of what
As to
age,
why this is a red flag as to why you think
me.
the person's not ready for marriage.
for marrying me, I don't care whoever she marries. I want someone who grows up the same way that I grew up. So my dad wasn't in the house, but he was still there.
Okay.
It's like he was still present. Like my dad is my superhero, right?
Oh, I love that.
I love my mom, right? I don't want to be in a relationship with someone who doesn't have that family dynamic, and then it's like looks at me weird as why I always answer the phone to my mom, or why I always go the extra mile for my mom. Don't argue with me why at 12 o'clock I'm going to see my mom. Do you understand? But if you didn't grow up in that family dynamic, you might find it weird.
Okay.
Do you get it?
Okay.
And then also, if she didn't have a dad, then that comes with all sorts of.
No, but you don't.
No, that's what I feel.
Okay, yeah, I can't.
I might
tell
be
you that.
wrong.
Yeah, I'm not a man, so I've never dated a woman that
and I'm
got a dad. Yeah.
Let me not
But
say
the
I'm
thing-
sure.
The
Well,
only thing I'm saying to that is that there are some women
Yeah.
that didn't have their dad around
Yeah,
because
and
of
they're still
some
gold.
really, they're
Yeah.
exactly.
But I don't want to take
So,
that chance.
I know, but that's why I'm saying you have
Yeah.
to understand if people are doing the work on
Yeah.
themselves
Yeah.
because it's unfair. That was something. Do you know what I think is the saddest part about it is that you don't get to choose your parents.
True.
Your parents have
Yeah.
a duty of care towards you,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and when they mess up,
Yeah.
you bear the brunt.
Yeah.
And because of that, you can't be judged because of that on whether someone can, would want to date you. That's kind of
that's
how
a
I
bit
No,
sad,
I'm not
because
saying
it's
that.
like for her,
well,
she's already dealt
Yeah.
with a wound of
Yeah.
rejection,
Yeah.
abandonment.
Yeah.
Why does everyone else have their dad and I don't?
Yeah.
And then to think this is a reason why someone wouldn't choose
Yeah.
me.
No,
it's
but
a
like what you said,
heartbreak
it depends on
second
if
time.
she's done the work. How many
Yeah,
women?
that's what I'm
how many women out there are doing the work?
But that's the thing,
That's the
and that's
question.
where this is where I
Yeah.
come to say about men.
What?
Men, listen.
Red flags. Hey, men are taking our lashes. Hey,
Wow.
hey.
This is what I say about
Yeah.
men. Men need to know how to sift through women
who've done
and
the
know
work,
who
yeah.
they're choosing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because too many times, lust is what's leading them.
Yeah.
Lust
Yeah.
is the only thing that's carrying their decision and their thought process. But instead, they should chill, be
Yeah.
friends, just be normal. Why not?
Yeah.
Why do you have to just automatically go? I get it. You don't meet a girl in a club and say, I want to be your friend. You're looking at her with
Yeah.
lustful eyes.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
get it. But at the same time, slow your road. Like, slow down. Calm down.
But wait, why? When women are dashing out here, why should they slow down?
But then,
Dashing out,
because then
what
you
does that
can't
mean?
complain about the woman you end up with. And I think sometimes men have to think, if you're
Yeah.
the one that's supposed to, I'll give you an
Yeah.
example, yeah? Do you know what was hard? Not even hard, but do you know what was something for me that I have conversations with my husband about now?
What?
It's like, when I would say to him, oh, like marriage, sometimes, so I moved to Ghana after the wedding, right? And I remember someone saying, like, how does it feel to be married? And I was like, yeah, I'm married.
Yeah.
Because it still was sinking in.
Yeah.
But when they asked him, he was like, I'm blessed, I'm happy. Like, he was just so like, it feels good.
Yeah.
I'm happy. Da, 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 da. And then I went home to him and I said, babe, like, why? Like, why? He was like, because Jazzmine, I had made up my mind. I'd chosen you. And so for me, my mind isn't coming to terms with it. I'm here and I've chosen you.
He
I
was
know
there before you,
I was there
yeah.
before you and I'm still here. And that made sense. And I said, okay, cool. So you had done the work on yourself to know what you needed and you chose me. So when I'm going back to like what men need to do that work. You need to be able to sift through the woman and know exactly who you're looking for, and then choose accordingly. Stop wasting your time, stop wasting your resources, stop wasting your money.
So do you think,
stop taking them out.
The question is, do you think men aren't planning that? I'm just running through these lot for until my 30s, and when I reach 30, that's when I'll start looking for. No,
But
bro,
then you're just getting
AJ, come on,
He's just
AJ, come on.
in that instance.
AJ, there's men that say, "Oh, like my light skin phase, so I'm only doing light skins for the next 2 years. Then I'm gonna get to my brownings, and then bro, AJ,
What?
I can't say his name. I can't say his name, right?
Hey, the incrimination.
Listen, they might know this already.
Don't
Let me not incriminate.
AJ,
AJ, someone from our secondary school, right? He used to work in a Gap shop. I saw him, and he said his light skin phase is done. He's
Is he
just
still
with
at Gap?
brownings. No, he's not still at Gap. Because he's left Gap. But
he's Mr.
his light skin phase is done. He's done with light skin. So he had that phase where he's not taking any of them serious.
I don't
It's just his
understand.
phase, his light skin phase. As in, he's only dating light skin girls. You don't want to marry none of them.
So how does that tie into what she said?
Yeah, that's what
Because
I'm saying.
what I'm saying is that she's saying that men aren't
need to know how
working
to
on
sift.
themselves.
Yeah.
And then once they've worked on themselves, they know, okay, cool, this is like your husband. He's worked on himself. He's been through his past relationships. He's worked on himself. And it's like, okay, this is the girl that I need to compliment me. Once I find her, I'm serious and I'm going to get married to her, right? If I'm not going to get married before I'm 30, right? I can run through whoever I want to run through. When I reach
Do you
30...
understand the implications of that? That's
Yes,
the thing.
I know. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not agreeing with it.
Oh,
I'm just
okay.
saying the mindset of men,
No.
right?
Well,
I'm not saying, I don't agree with that. I'm married.
In that scenario, that's the men women should avoid.
Yeah,
but they don't
that's it.
avoid them. And AJ, remember that thing you always say about the culture and how women, if they said...
Oh, that I'm a big
Yeah.
believer that women determine and uphold culture. Whatever, like this is how I feel. I
saw that one.
I feel like
Yeah.
women
I saw
are more powerful than they realize.
You know,
yeah,
it's
I
true.
saw what you said. It was the whole thing about basically what women accept is
Yeah.
what will be the
Exactly.
majority.
I'm telling you, like-
and I agree. You know why? My dad said the same thing to me. And
Women
he said, how
are more
men
powerful
acting-
than they think.
You're right. He said how men are acting
Yeah.
is a byproduct of what women are accepting.
Yeah.
My dad can't even understand the social media. He's like, I
Yeah.
can go on social media and I can see
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
He couldn't understand it. So for me, it's like he's like, so if men aren't doing the right things,
Yeah.
why aren't they doing the right
Because
things?
Because
Yeah.
women have incentivized it. So this is so when I say what I say,
I agree with that
like,
one.
if you know me, obviously you know that
Yeah.
I love women, especially black women.
Yeah.
Like I'm that guy. Innit?
Yeah.
I don't hate any women.
Yeah.
But
Just love black women.
my people.
Yeah.
But so when I say what I say, and sometimes it's like, oh, why is this guy always saying that? It's
Yeah.
like because I know how impactful women are on the world. Because to me, this is what I believe. If women tomorrow collectively say this is the standard,
Standard, yeah.
But we don't be like that.
and that's the standard. I'm
you know,
telling
there's a
you,
film on
that
that,
is the new standard. If the women say tomorrow that, especially the desirable women,
Yeah.
or even all women collectively, it just becomes a norm that they
Yeah.
say, look, we don't date men that are,
Fraud boys.
that have these terrible characteristics,
Yeah.
or we don't
Yeah.
date men that, like to play
It
the
will
field.
force men
We
to
don't.
do more, like
Yeah.
be better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
If
to
women
speak,
say, oh yeah, just because you're a rapper or a footballer, it doesn't mean anything. Show me
Yeah.
who you are, your character.
Yeah.
You will see character development
Yeah.
like tomorrow. Because now you know that money's
Yeah.
not the thing.
Yeah.
But as long as women say, or as long as men see, because it's not even what they say, it's about what we see. From when a man can see that, hold on, this man that has nothing to offer, in fact, he's
Yeah.
even an open player,
Yeah.
but he's still able to access
all of
any
them.
girl he wants, all because he can afford
Yeah.
to put them on a flight and take them to a particular location in the
Yeah.
world.
Yeah.
Then what's the point? That's what happens
You're right.
for let's say the weaker man. Because someone like me, integrity is integrity. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter what I
Yeah,
see.
yeah,
like.
yeah.
And going back to what you said in terms of selection, that's important. To me, if you reverse engineer your life, you will do well in every
Yeah,
aspect.
I agree.
So for me, I've always been someone that's like, no, I do want to be married.
Yeah.
However, I want my family dynamic to be a certain way. Akeem can tell you, I've always said, I will never have a baby mum because it's not me.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry, because it's not
Yeah.
me that's going to be sitting around the dinner table with
Yeah,
my wife
someone
and,
knocking
and
the door.
kids, and then I'm getting a knock on my door with some woman standing outside angry asking about money.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's not me that's getting that disruption. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. And then on top, the type, again, back to what you said, the type of wife that you want,
Yeah.
you should know already. Like,
Yeah.
so
You know.
what I say to people when they ask, oh, how do you select? Go by your non-negotiable flaws. Don't choose based on the good, because there's 55 million women that have all of that.
I've got an interesting question though.
Pick based on what you can't handle. Pick on the bad.
Yeah.
Don't pick because if you go based on, like, say for example, woman says, I want a man that's 6 foot, finance,
Wow.
Blue eyes.
cute eyes, all of this. my friend, we can find you 100 million men in the world that are 6 foot in finance. The differences will be their character flaws. Now, if you're someone that you can't tolerate lying like me, I hate lies. If you can't tolerate that, we can find you 10 men, but one's going to be a liar, or 3 are liars, 2 are this. You have to now choose on, right, I might not like it, but what can I tolerate? That's the best way to filter it out. And where I say that is because what you see going wrong is when men go based on, for example, beauty. There's so many beautiful women. That's why now you're having a hard time. Because you went just on beauty, but she's not the only beautiful girl.
She's a
Can't
chicken.
just go on beauty.
But what will separate her from the other beautiful girl? The other beautiful girl is unkept. Her mindset, the way she thinks about family is different. But this beautiful girl, she aligns with what you're saying. Yes, she has her character flaws, but you can handle them. So that's what I would say.
I agree.
So my question is, obviously you're a good guy, money orientated, family orientated. Did you not have your stage where you know what I'm getting at?
What that
Because
Playboy.
obviously your wife is I'm not saying it's a playboy. I'm
No, I
saying
wasn't a playboy.
your wife wasn't your first partner.
No, I mean, but I was
Did you
young.
follow the same principles as you speak about now? Did you uphold those same principles?
Did I uphold those same principles? Yes, for marriage, because I was making sure I wasn't getting anybody pregnant. So anybody getting pregnant, I need. Hey, listen. Like in terms of marriage, I've always wanted to be married once, one time alone, till death do us part, family. And I've always had, a mind that, look, I need a woman that understands the concept of family first. Because everyone can say family first until you have to put family first.
Yeah.
And what you tend to see is people will make decisions based on how they feel, not based on principle.
Yeah.
And I believe I'm a principled person. It doesn't matter how I feel. As long as the principle is upheld, then we uphold the principle. Just because I feel like, let's say you're disrespectful to me as my wife, I can feel like doing whatever. But the principle within me will force me to restrain and constrain myself.
So that's a very good point that you're making, because you see how you said the principle is what governs you. That's your integrity. Now, someone who doesn't have that
Principles.
integrity,
You're finished.
Jasmine.
You're finished. you're a principled person dealing with someone that has nothing that governs them. You're setting yourself up for insanity.
Yeah.
Basically. So because you said that, this leads me on to say something. So when women feel like there's things that they can do to stop a man making certain decisions, whether that's infidelity or just certain things. From what you just said, do you think it's the woman's does the woman have the power to do that, or is it solely based on the man?
Oh my God.
You know what I'll say? 60-40. I'll say it's a 60-40. 60% the man, because the integrity of the man is the integrity of the man, right?
Yeah. I like that.
It doesn't matter what my wife does.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it has to be me to go and make that decision to do the wrong thing. The 40% is how difficult that woman makes it for the man to go and
I love that. I love that.
That's a really good point.
I love that.
So, like what you said in the beginning, in terms of, look, you got to, sow the seeds.
Yeah.
We're all sowing seeds every day. What kind of seeds are you sowing? Just like how you said, if you expect, intimacy from your wife, you can't just click fingers and I'm ready. And you need to sow the seeds. That woman can cause this man to consider that aspect more, and then force him.
I'm going to say something controversial. I've always said that before, when I was boyfriend and girlfriend, cheating was physical. That when you get married, cheating can be physical, but it's also cheating on your duties. Like I remember Kevin Stein was, not to say that we should listen to him, but he said that.
Why shouldn't we listen to him?
No.
He basically said something along the lines of like, if your husband is cheating on you, you can feel sad, but it's if he now starts to spend money or puts her up in houses and
that
stuff.
aspect,
Like if there's a misalignment of hierarchy. And I think from my personal experience of what I've seen, I do feel like sometimes infidelity can be adjacent to reactive abuse. I do feel like there are times when you can kind of coerce somebody indirectly for your actions into wanting to cheat or actually doing it.
Jasmine disagrees.
No.
Okay,
I
Jasmine.
Will never.
So the woman has no part to play.
No, not just women, men and women, yeah.
So wait, so Jasmine, let me tell you why I say that. So put it like this, right, Jasmine? Let's say.
No.
What do you mean no? Why are you telling me no? My own podcast. Hello. Hey, we'll cut your mic off,
I'm gonna forget. But this is my point. I have to say it.
Yeah.
The reason I don't like that ideology, is because there's too many times that women will sit there and be like, "What I should have done this more. I should have done this better. It was because of me." This is not just with cheating. This is with abuses, with physical abuse, everything.
Physical abuse. We'll go somewhere else.
No. I'm saying it because it's with everything. It happens. Yeah. It's a mindset. It's a mindset that it was their fault. But this was your behavior, and you need to be accountable for your behavior. I don't want nobody to ever make it seem like it's what I done that made them make a decision. Because trust and believe. You see me, I always say to people, when I do something, hold me accountable. Because you see me, I think about all the potential scenarios that's going to come from this situation. So you can get onto me and know that it wasn't a mistake. I chose.
I like that. Yeah.
But you see, all the times that I hear that, like that said, it's because she wasn't giving me sex. Oh, it's because of this. It's because
I can't agree with that,
but there's loads of different things. Oh, this woman at work, like work wives and all these rubbish.
That's a sticky one, but that still takes the man.
That's a sticky one.
It's still on the man.
But
it's
the
still,
60-40, just that small 40% is the thing that makes that will take a woman far, and she will not recover. She won't recover. When
I agree with what you're saying, but I know from my personal experience, before I got kind of divorced, you go through like marriage counselling, and even though if somebody cheats and you cheat back, both people have to hold themselves accountable. But they also use the concept of the work analogy, like, did you just get fired or were you doing your job? Did you set somebody up to fail? Do you get what I mean?
That, but
so in the aspect, let's say now I'm a married woman. I know that my husband likes sex. But I decide to take a job in Manchester that puts me away for 4 days a week. Yeah. My husband can express to me and say, hey, babe, not working. I don't like this. And if I go, oh, but I still want to do it. If he cheats, he has to hold himself accountable.
Because he's got to play.
My duty as well.
What he needs to do is take himself through that door and leave. That's what he needs to do. Yeah, but he needs to go. Because
but when you're married, it's not just about you can't just pick up yourself and go.
Because
Jazzmine's not having it.
I understand what she's saying. But it's like, even like going through a separation, it's like when you do think about infidelity, even when I've spoken to other people, it's very easy to kind of be like, just leave. But this is marriage, there's kids, there's assets, it's not boyfriend and girlfriend. And when it does come to the urge or the human desire to want to do something, it happens in a split second. So even if you do separate, there's also the concept of, are you cheating while separated? But I think for me, what I've learned is that there never is any excuse for infidelity. But the one thing I done was I also looked at myself and hold myself accountable as well.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So Jazz, let me ask you.
I'm not taking it because you know what it is. I believe in reciprocity. Yeah. And the one thing I'm going to give you, if I'm not going to cheat on you, but you see, once you cheat on me, I can't come back. I can't physically come back.
We're not saying the woman should come back. We're talking about.
No, but that's what I mean.
Did she have a part to play?
The fact that I'm not going to consider any of it.
So you're saying that?
Do you know why? Because what you should have done is sat down with me and told me, look, this is my issue, babe. I can't do it. We're gonna have to part ways if this and this.
Yes, that's the best course of action.
But when you say part ways, what do you mean? Like,
no, we're gonna have. What can we do? So what I would need from him, this is what I expect. So I don't feel like you betrayed me. I need you because I can't deal with the lies. I can't. My brain can't function in it. So it's like, I would rather you be brutally honest with me. Like, babe, this ain't gonna work. Either we're gonna change this today, or we're gonna go. And I will say what I want to do. Do you get what I mean?
You know what?
I really can't stomach you making the mistake, then expecting me to forgive you because I'm
not.
No.
You know what's happened?
I'm not taking accountability.
You've misinterpreted what we're saying. No. We're saying it from an objective standpoint. Yeah. We're not saying from a condone. None of us condone cheating.
Yeah. I'm not. Yeah, I get what she means.
No, I'm not even saying you like condone. I don't think you condone it. But what it is what I'm saying is, I can't see anything past what you've done to me because all I'm feeling now is that you wasn't loyal. And I take loyalty at the top. Yeah. So what you should have done is told me, I'm hitting the road, Jazzmine. I'm going.
Hit the road, Jack.
Hit the road, Jack. That's all because I would have preferred if I sat there and cried and said, I don't know how to fix this. At least you came to me. But if you expect me to, you've done something more to me once. You told me I think you've done something.
I think you're talking about the second phase.
I think you're talking about
the question that we're answering is, or the question I've answered is, when it comes to cheating, for the act to happen, does the woman have a part to play?
Okay.
That's what I'm answering. I'm not saying he should have done it. What you said, he should have done it. But now, let's even flip it. As Christians, let's be real. When did the Bible say that you can divorce just because...
you can divorce infidelity.
For infidelity. But what Jazzmine's saying is, before the infidelity happens, he has come and said, look,
I'm not Jesus and I don't have the same heart to forgive you. So if you want this to work,
I'm finished.
I don't have the same heart to forgive you. But don't get me wrong, like I understand the standpoint of do you know what it is? I understand being. Let me actually make this clear. Being boyfriend and girlfriend, and I've been in situations where it's been boyfriend and girlfriend, and something's happened, and I look back now in hindsight, and it was sad, but for that to happen in marriage, when I feel like I placed such an importance on it, that's the one where I will literally cut off my nose to spite my face.
Wow.
And I will be the first. It didn't work. It didn't work. It didn't work. And people will think that I'm mad because I will literally have a switch that just turns everything
That's
off.
literally like me. I was like, I don't want to.
So wait, are you saying that women have zero part?
No,
to
Jasmine's
play?
answering how she feels after the fact.
Yeah,
I think she understands that women have a part to play.
That women, you can be triggered by a woman.
Yeah.
I understand it. But what I'm saying is, you see the behavior you choose to exhibit.
Yeah,
After
it's
that
100% on
trigger,
you.
It's on you.
Yeah,
and
it
I'm
is
never
on
going
you.
to hear anything from
Oh,
you.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
I think it's just ensuring
So
that
I think we're saying
like,
two different things. What I'm saying is right.
That she
If
can
this
have a
if
part.
this man cheated,
Yeah.
did she have a now? Don't get me wrong. There are men that are just mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there are innocent women that are being cheated on by useless men. That's a fact. But well, you disagree.
No, I'm just
You're gonna say that every single cheating case.
continue.
So, but what I'm saying is, there's also the scenarios that are like this. Let's say, Jazzmine, right? You have a particular desire, like or whatever that I know of, or that your husband knows of.
Yeah.
Right? We'll make it plain, just for plain examples. He knows that you like to go to nice restaurants and you like to be wine and dine.
Yep.
Keep it plain and simple. However, he knows this. However, he refuses to give you that. Now, there's another gentleman that is equally as handsome as your husband.
Yep.
He's equally as everything's equal.
Every day he's begging to give it to you.
And he wants to take you to the finest of fine restaurants. Now, you every day have to have an internal fight to reject
Argument.
what you want to come into a situation you don't want.
Believe.
But
it's not
do you
about
see-
leaving, it's about how long can you withstand that?
But
Why do you
but wait.
Maybe because my mindset's different with this, because I don't believe you should be in love where you're struggling.
no.
I don't want to struggle in any marriage, never.
But how long are
I
you
would-
married for?
Huh?
How long are you married for?
So I got married 2023, June.
2023. So you've been married for 1 year.
But I knew him, so 2021 is when we initially
Yeah.
met, yeah?
Yeah.
Then 2023 got married.
Yeah.
But he proposed.
Yeah.
You get it,
So
right?
your relationship is what? 4 years going on 5 years, 3 years going on 4 years?
Yeah.
So when you don't think when you reach to the 10-year point, there's going to be
But do you know
a
what?
dip within that space?
If there's a dip,
No,
then
no,
I
by all
just pray
means,
for the grace. Let me
Yeah,
do this
go
here.
on, go on.
I pray for the grace
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, I'm just saying how I feel as me today.
Yeah.
I don't know how me 10 years down
Yeah.
the line is going to feel, and that's the most realistic
Yeah.
response I can give you, because I understand that you can say that will never be me.
Yeah.
And you can be staring that very person
same
in the
person,
face
yeah.
and be that person.
Yeah.
But the person me today
Yeah.
is telling you no
No way.
way.
I hear that. See, Jasmine, I'm not saying what the person should do after. What I am saying is the scenario that people sometimes find themselves in the sense that you're denying you're forcing your husband. Yeah, it's like you know how our parents used to be. Where you go to another person's house, you're hungry, and then they ask you, "Do you want to eat?" and you have to say no.
Yeah.
Nah, that's an African thing. I can eat at other people's houses.
Yeah. That is an African thing.
I go to my friend's house, but I can't eat.
That's an African thing. Fine. In
There's no
terms of
poison.
right, you're starving.
Yeah.
Oh, that's you.
Are you there? Charlie, bro?
Do you understand?
Yeah, that's African
Yeah,
thing.
your husband told
So basically, like,
ask
you're
him.
trying to say that how your wife tells you when you go to this person's house, you're not allowed to eat. You go to this person's house, say, hey, you know what? She offered me food. I really like jollof rice. Can you cook it for me? No.
Essentially. So what
You
I'm
go to
saying,
this person's house, they
I'm-
offer you jollof. You're like, I can't have it. My question as a woman is one: why are you always at this woman's house mainly?
no, that's but no, you taking the analogy wrong.
Yeah,
What I'm
but-
saying is, your husband is married to you.
Yeah.
As his wife, he's
This is where he's
expected.
supposed to come.
Let's even say it's a sexual reason why they're cheating, because it could be it could be
Yeah.
other things. It could be
Emotional.
that, do you know what? Like, he wants to communicate with you, but you shut it down.
Yeah.
But then there's the other girl that communicates. But now do you understand? What I think happens where a woman has a part to play is you are constantly putting your husband in a situation where he has to deny himself of what he wants and to opt in. He has to now he now has to deny what he wants to opt into the very thing he doesn't. Does that make sense?
But is he perfect? That's what I want to
That's not
understand.
that's not the
That's
question.
not the question. That's not the question.
What is
And
she
that
saying
is the-
no to?
to
What is
me-
she saying no to? Because women, let's just be
To
clear.
me, that's the only part the woman has to play.
Yeah.
Now, him cheating, him stepping out, it's still on
But
him.
what is she saying?
But
no
why
to?
is she saying no? That's the thing.
Yes. What? And
I don't know. I'm just giving
you're just
you.
saying-
Perfect
I'm saying-
example. Perfect example. I don't even know how.
my head is hurting.
What year was year 11? Year 10, year 11.
2011. We're not even the same age.
So 15 years going on, 16 years I've been with my wife.
Oh, I love that.
There's been,
He
I'm
hasn't been
pretty
married for
sure.
15, 16
I haven't been
years.
married for,
Oh,
I wouldn't because that'd be
I've
11.
been married. I saw it, yeah.
I'm sure that at least been a year where it's just all crap, right? Let's say we're in that year where it's not rosy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying that it's a year long, right? And I'm saying I want this. She's not giving it. I want that. We're arguing for whatever reason. It's just constant arguing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So does that justify her not to perform her duties?
It doesn't. But you see, that's where the integrity of the man. So
But
see
it's
where
going
you're
to be
coming from,
hard though
Jasmine.
to perform, because why is she
That's-
saying
What
no?
duties are you talking about?
All her duties.
No, what's some of them? What's some of them?
Okay, let's say I'm planning to do X, Y. Like, for example, AJ, let's say he's gonna start a business, right? And he needs the support of his wife. Because sometimes men aren't, it's not that we're weak, but sometimes you still need a little push, a little motivation. Your wife's supposed to do that for you because she's supposed to be your helpmeet, right? You're coming to her with this idea that
Supposed to help each other.
Jesus. Yes, but obviously, if I'm the one that's coming to you, I'm looking from you to give me something.
In that moment in
in that
time.
moment in time.
Yeah.
So if you need some emotional support from me, you should be coming to me for that emotional support. So I'm saying in this scenario,
Yeah, that's true.
in this scenario,
I don't know what.
yeah.
what
So in
Jasmine
this
did,
scenario, if I'm coming to you to say that I've got this idea, right? I'm thinking of doing X, Y, and Z, but I'm not sure. And your words in that moment could either derail my whole plan or push me forward to go and execute it. And because we're having an argument, you feel like, I don't want to hear anything that what this guy has to say. Forget him and whatever his plans are. That's one aspect. The other aspect is I'm roasting. I need X, Y, and Z to ease that.
Yeah.
This guy has been minding me for a week or whatever it is. So why is he coming to me now?
This guy's been what?
Hasn't been minding me, so he hasn't been
But
paying
why
me
are you not
attention.
minding your wife?
Change your behavior.
Why are you not
get
minding
the
your
result.
wife? Like, this is
My
what
last point. I get what you lot said earlier with
Yeah.
the charming and romancing,
Yeah.
right? So let's say, because my wife, we had this conversation with my wife the other day. She was like, text her from when I'm at work, 9 o'clock. Send her a nice text, send her a poem, send her something, right? Start off the day, not just like I said, not just foreplay is where it starts. You start the day off. If I get home before her, wash the dishes. If she comes, I can see the
Yes,
dishes washed.
yeah.
It's like,
It
oh,
feels
he
good,
washed
yeah.
the dishes. You know what I mean? I can't write poem. Come home, wash the
no,
dishes.
that's
I can't
the
do that
problem,
every
yeah.
day. Come on, I can't do.
Listen,
Come on, AJ. I can't do that.
listen. This,
come
if
on.
you lot are listening, that's a gap in the market. Somebody, what you need to do is make a husband seasoning app here, where the app can automate.
No, the AI that sends it.
The AI,
sends
yeah,
it
just
for him.
program the AI to send the different messages.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's a business idea. Look, if anyone wants to
There you go.
invest in that, yeah, look, let's go in it. Let's go.
I'm like AJ. Can you send? I'm
Husband
But you
AI.
was doing it when you was
No,
dating.
I'm good.
When you
Yes,
was
but
dating,
it's
you
not
was
every
able to do
day.
that.
You're not doing it every day that you're dating. When you don't live together, right? It seems like every interaction that you have is rosy and sweet. That's the difference. When you live together, we're here 7 days a week. You can't be rosy for 7 days. I got work. I'm stressed. My boss is in my back of my neck. Do you understand? I didn't think about texting you because I have to stay overtime and finish at 6:30.
You're just
I
human.
completely forgot to text you. I don't even know where my phone is. And because I didn't do that, I can't get it. Come on, man. You're gonna I didn't sweep
no,
you up
that's a
today.
bit petty.
Oh,
though.
can I ask you lot's perspective?
Yeah.
I don't know if you can cut it out if it's not allowed to be in this.
No,
Yes,
we're rolling.
Because it's so. Did you guys see the interview with ZZ Mills and Slumflower?
Yeah.
I saw the clip on.
And she spoke about that married women are sex workers,
Oh
and
my
it's because of I think the similar sentiment.
Yeah.
So
what's
the sentiment of like it's our duty to do that. So we're just a sex worker. What kind of
view is
But that's a warped mind.
What kind of view is that you're a sex worker?
Oh yeah, I saw
Wait,
that. Yeah.
that person, that said it, yeah. What does she do?
No,
for-
she's a feminist.
Oh,
she's
that's
a
why.
feminist.
So why would you take her points?
No, but I'm not taking it. But she
Yeah.
was. This is what I'm trying to say. So with that whole
Yeah.
notion is where she derives that whole
Is she,
well,
is she,
these women
is
are
she a
married
musician
and
or
sex-
something?
No, she's
Genuinely just a just a single feminist.
No, but she's like.
How do you know she's
well
single?
known,
Is she single?
Oh God, I don't know.
As-
She's not single. No, she's single, but she's
Okay.
a feminist and she's a pole dancer.
and she's written a book that done
Yeah.
really
So
well.
someone that's even venturing closer and closer to sex work is telling you that marriage is sex work. But okay.
I think she's more so from the transactional
I mean, you got a fair
aspect of it. Because having sex is having sex, but if we now are going to correlate that when you are married, having sex is a duty regardless of the weather, then I can understand.
No, I'm not saying
like,
regardless of the weather. I'm just saying have some sort, because there's sacrifice on both sides. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, Jazzmine, your husband doesn't say, depending on how you deal with him, will determine whether his protection and whatnot is on or off. You see, and that's the thing. That's the hard part that women have.
Very right.
Men don't do.
But some men do that, and that's the thing.
How you
It
turning off
depends
your
on what
protection?
man you have.
No, there's some men do
depends
do
on
that.
I mean, yeah, obviously there's mad men.
Let's be clear. There are some wicked,
Men
and let
out
me
there.
emphasize, wicked men that use their resources, use their time, use their to kind of control a woman. So, you don't want to have sex
Because that's what you value. If that's what you value, I use it against you.
Yeah.
If the woman doesn't value that, the guy, you can't use it against her.
But it depends on
So
the situation.
if our interactions is just me flying you out, beating you out, sending you back, buying you gifts.
But it's all about in a marriage.
In a marriage.
No, I'm talking about in a marriage. There's some wicked men. They won't even talk to their wife for however long.
Yeah,
You'll be
silent
living in the same
treatment.
house, but then you expect your wife to have cooked everything, but you are blanking her.
We do not stand by and support those men. We do not defend those men. Any example I give is not in the backing of those men.
If it's a good, decent, loving husband.
That's who we're talking about.
Yes, I get it. Like, it's like he doesn't turn off what he does for you because he's upset. He still has to show up. And I get it. You have to show up in whatever he needs you to show up in.
Yeah.
There.
But I know husbands who everything you just described, but suffer the same fate. And you know it. Am I lying, AJ?
I mean,
AJ, you don't.
I mean, it's true. But look, let me move on.
Men love
let me move on.
women. Yeah.
The last bit, because because I'm a financial advisor and it's inside of Ayo, I always tie everything back into finance. So ultimately, what are the red flags and warnings that everyone would say that will show you this person is not ready for marriage financially?
Okay.
So from my personal experience, I come from working class background, and I managed to do quite well, like working in tech. So maybe coming from working class background with eldest daughter syndrome, it was always kind of like subconsciously within me to kind of like want to help.
Yeah.
I don't think that there's like my mum and dad brought really good together, and I guess it was before the generation of he has to have this, he has to have that.
Yeah.
I think my dad only really got into his wealth in his like mid-40s. Maybe that's even too late.
As it normally happens. That's when men get into their financial stride. Your 40s.
One of the financial red flags to me is that we focus so much on, men need to have this amount of money, and I do believe that money, money talks, right? But it's also about your relationship with money and the sacrifice to it. I've dated guys who earn less than me, but will maybe still pay for Nando's. But you can date a guy that earns more, but they're very stingy.
Yeah. He's not willing to give it to you.
Yeah,
anyways.
they're not willing to give.
Yeah.
So I think for me, money is very energetically reciprocal. And if I were to marry again or go back in time, I wouldn't marry anybody that doesn't understand the sacrifice that comes with money.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
Because to me, my money is my life force.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? So I would need to I need to marry someone that's like, it's not about how much I earn or how much you earn, but what's your work ethic like?
Yeah.
I don't have ego when it comes to work. If I need to do Amazon delivery to pay my bills, I do Amazon delivery. But I wouldn't be with a man who
I can't do that.
He doesn't have the mindset of like, I would take a cash in hand job.
Yeah.
My dad, there's times when I was younger, I was like, Dad, I want to learn how to code.
Yeah.
He went and got me a second-hand laptop.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So like, my dad was the kind of man that I think women should be with somebody that when it comes to providing, they have no ego. If your boy has a lorry that needs a job, that has couple drop-offs at the local garage, give him $250 in his hand. So somebody who has the same mindset when it comes to money as you.
So that's what you say is for the man. Is that the same for the woman? What would you say is a red flag from a man's perspective?
Yeah.
This woman is not ready to be married financially.
Women that only want things from...
Don't take somebody seriously.
Everyone will have it too.
If you take them on a first date to a fancy restaurant and they're doing up that Instagram, TikTok, when I see young girls doing that, I'm like, do you know what I mean? Like, unless if you're like a young girl, you're allowed to be gassed. But when I see women that are like older, proper like older, like getting the ring light out, that's when.
So the ring light.
I have to do this because
you're gonna have your child.
That's your job.
That's what I'm trying to say. So there are some women that are there, they're not even paying for it. So it's part of their job. So with that being said, if
that's your job, then it's cool. But if it's not your job, I feel like I meet so many young up and coming like young men that make great money in tech, and now they're kind of like, wow, like I can actually get these Instagram baddies.
Yeah.
And then you see them in like
You see the
sushi
mindset,
samba.
though? You
And
see-
then it's like,
Yeah, that's the wrong mindset in
They
the first place.
accumulate,
Yeah.
this is it.
accumulate
And it's just
wealth,
like, they
and then look what they look. It doesn't make sense.
yeah.
It doesn't make
But I
sense.
also feel like, I do feel sorry for a lot of young girls because it's like, they don't know like what validates a man's value, the time he spends with you or the money that he spends.
Well.
And even for me, sometimes I find that confusing. Like, does a man value you if he spends time with you and takes you out? Or is the man that hits you up
This
to...
is a
you know,
good
it is-
topic. You know
it's-
why this one is a good topic? We
Yeah.
spoke about it, to be honest. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Because I always say, let's be realistic.
Yeah.
If you are with a guy
Mhm.
that, like entrepreneurs, loads of girls want to be with entrepreneurs.
Mm.
Let's put it like that. That entrepreneur does not have time.
Yeah.
Let's get it straight.
Yeah.
You don't know the man that you want.
You
Yeah.
will not.
Yeah.
You will not have his time, and it's wrong
Yeah.
of you to expect his time when he's trying to create a livelihood.
Yeah.
He's trying
Yes.
to take care of things.
Yeah.
He doesn't get the holiday pay,
Yeah.
the sick
Yeah, yeah,
pay.
yeah.
He has to do that, but he might have the disposable cash to give you.
Yeah.
So which one do you want? Does that make sense? Or you
Yeah.
can choose the guy with the structured 9 to 5, and he will get to a point in his career where he can do all of those
Yeah.
things for you.
Yeah.
But what do you want right now? Because sometimes it's like, if you want the time and the money, you're gonna have to look elsewhere. You're gonna have to find a different caliber, or maybe an older guy, or something
uncle.
that's an uncle.
But
That's
then,
gonna be.
but my
you're gonna-
question was more so like, how do you validate a man's value towards you? Is it the guy that takes you out and spends money on you, or the guy that doesn't mind coming to yours and...
Well,
finds-
But the truth is,
Supply
I
and
don't want a
demand,
guy
innit?
coming to my house when he's dating me. So that
Yeah,
was
yeah,
gonna be a
100%.
very hard situation because you're not coming to my house. I don't want you there.
yeah.
Sorry,
yeah,
in the
yeah.
nicest way.
If
I don't
only,
want
innit?
you there.
If only all girls said that. You see,
No, it's
you
true
talk
though,
about
I
standards
hear
and
it.
But
thingy.
I'm funny. I'm
Yeah.
very funny. Like, I'm scared. I've had situations where people are stalking.
No, I'm not saying you're wrong.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying
yeah.
For
if
me, you
every
can't
girl
come to my
adopted
house.
that thing,
Yeah.
look
Yeah.
at that. You see the man that just want you just to get into your knickers, he's gone already.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Filtered
come
out.
to your
Yeah,
house.
yeah,
But-
yeah.
It's too close for comfort.
Yeah.
Me,
Too much.
you need to build that. I need to build that trust
Build
with you
that
for you
credit.
to be able
Yeah.
to be in my personal
know
space like
Yeah.
that. So no, we will go out.
Cool. So what are your two? One red flag. One red flag that you would say for as a man. If this woman displays this financially, she's not ready to be married.
So a woman, not men. Okay.
I don't know. You do one for the man. So everyone will do one for the man,
Yeah.
one for the woman.
Woman, I would honestly say, I don't know if this is like exactly tied to financial, but I would say a woman that doesn't have vision.
Mm.
Yeah. So I feel like there's some you can speak to the like king in a man. I don't want to sound cliche, but you
Yeah.
can speak to something in the
Grand
man that
rising.
you choose.
It's either the king
you
or the fool.
choose.
Grand
Yeah, you
rising.
can. I believe that women are men's kryptonites if they're the wrong
Yeah.
woman for you.
Yeah.
100%.
Definitely. But what I'm saying is, a woman that doesn't have vision, she can't see the long term.
Yeah.
She can't see where you are going to be. And that's
Yeah,
not me
that's-
saying that you should settle for someone's potential.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But if you are with a man that is building,
Yeah.
yeah, how can you like assist in that?
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't know this exactly. Like, I would say that's a red flag. Are you someone who sees the vision and tries to help with
Yeah.
that? And especially if he's upholding you, he's like valuing you, he's showing you, he's taking you on this journey, and he's making you know how important you are to him. And do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like, yeah, a woman who don't
Yeah.
see that vision is a red flag.
And for your sisters, if this man behaves like this in a financial capacity, he's not ready for marriage. What would you say?
I think you, yeah, Yasmin. Oh, sorry, I wasn't meant to say.
I'm asking
Yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
So you said what the
Anybody asks to borrow money from you, please, beg.
Whoa! Shout out,
What
hey,
did I see?
scandalous.
But what if that was a test?
No, yeah, but
Don't
that's what I was
test
about to
me,
say.
I'll
I was
fail.
gonna-
Don't test
yeah,
you.
No, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say, I think if someone's very stingy,
Yeah.
that one I can't deal with.
Yeah.
If you are a stingy man, yeah, I don't
Yeah,
want
frugal.
you near me. I don't want you near me because I can already tell that you're not somebody who's willing to sacrifice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's scary because I've seen situations where even when it comes to there being children, the woman is battling him
Yeah,
to
to
give
get
money
something,
to his
to buy school shoes.
children. And to me, it's like if you love somebody
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
you'd
you want to
give.
do life with somebody, it should be in your nature
Mm.
as a man
As
to
to
want
wanna
to
give,
give,
yeah.
because she's a reflection of you.
Yeah.
And when people see
Her,
her,
they see
they
you.
see
Yeah.
you. So now you are holding your money and you don't want. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
you need to
Yeah.
go in the bin.
Wow.
Doesn't
it's
like
all the way to-
Stingy
all the way
men
to the
as
bin.
well.
Stingy
Yeah.
men, yeah.
Hey, so how do you quickly, because so I can get to him. How do you contextualize stinginess? Because sometimes
Frugal.
because the man is not wasting money or the man's not spending money in a reckless way, they will say he's stingy. He's actually not stingy. He's actually just being financially savvy.
Yeah.
But I do accept. No, there are stingy men that are just being too tight. She's asking you for a basic drink. And you're there.
See me. I'm not asking for anything. I am someone. I'm not asking. Sorry, in the nicest way. I don't like to ask. I would see somebody. For me, if I see
how do we
that
define
one
the
of my
stingy?
peer-
Yeah.
So if he's not someone that takes the initiative to say, I want to make your life easier.
Yes.
To me, you now are stingy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I guess as well, my love language is, I would say partially like you making my life easier. I would say that's important.
That's the love
to me.
language of all women.
women,
though.
yeah.
Which woman doesn't want easier life?
Yeah, I want you to make so I'm not gonna say to you, oh, I need this, because me,
Yeah.
I know myself, I can figure it out. I always
Yeah.
do. But you see that tendency in me that is like, I can figure it out. If I'm doing life with you, I need you to help me soften that. So that's not gonna come through me asking you. That's gonna come through me seeing.
You have to analyze.
Yeah.
You say showing you're attentive to me. You're seeing, okay, I know that Jasmine's got this. It makes me know that you're mindful of me.
Very demure.
Exactly. But yeah, that's what I would say. So that would tell me that you're stingy because you haven't taken the initiative to look into my life and say, you know, I pay attention to you.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Akeem, what would you say?
Work for which
So-
one? Men or women?
From the perspective of a man, like, so you're saying to men, right?
Yeah.
This is a red flag from the woman
Yeah.
that she's not ready to be married if she behaves like this financially.
A woman that doesn't, like, kind of what you said. So some men do it on purpose to see how you are with money.
I hate that. That would be.
No, obviously, I'm not saying me.
Yeah.
I'm saying some
Tested
men
it.
do it on purpose just to see how you are with money because I can't invest my time with you and you're not willing to help me build. If you can't, let's say I'm playing a trick, I forget my wallet. I'm literally, it's on purpose.
No, that one's gonna go so left for someone like me. I'm so sorry.
Obviously,
Because
it's
you
not
should
on the
have
first.
planned as a man. As a man, why are you forgetful?
He
I
said,
don't like
Yes,
that.
I'm just
I
saying.
don't like that
I'm not saying that he's forgetful.
Yeah.
I'm saying, let's say that this
So
is what
as
the guy's done to you.
irresponsible, you left
No.
the house with no money.
Oh my days.
You
Lord.
don't know how to
Wait,
protect
no,
me.
The guy can't even say what the red flag is. What kind of double standards are
You get what I'm
these?
saying?
Protect
So
me.
my main point is that
Baby,
someone
I'm scared.
who isn't. I'm finished. My main point is someone who isn't willing to support you, right?
Okay.
So if, for example, if your guy is an entrepreneur, right, and you work a 9 to 5, like you work in tech, and he has a brilliant business idea that he's working towards, right, and he's working also a full-time job to get there,
Yeah.
right? Remember, you're working in tech, you're earning a decent amount of money. Let's say he needs to, let's say a business loan or something, but he doesn't have the credit for it, whatever it is. You lot are married. And you can see his vision. His vision makes sense. It's not he wants to start a mobile barbershop or something stupid. He has a good business plan, right? And you see that it's a good business plan, but you just don't want to put anything into it to help.
Well,
him.
financially.
Are you saying she's supposed to wait? Are you saying that she's
No, I'm
supposed
not
to put her
saying.
name
No,
on
I'm
the
not saying that. What I'm saying is that it's help him.
Oh,
Oh, the simplest way
I've
of
been
me
in that
saying is
situation before.
Yeah, and did you do it?
No, I didn't put credit in, but what I did do is there are ways to maybe look at what you're spending and cut back, and maybe I would financially put more.
So you don't put no equity into it at all?
Well, I work in sex, I would just build it for you in it. But
Yeah, but that's still equity. It's sweat equity.
oh, okay, yeah.
But someone who just wants to ride on your what's that term?
Coattails, yeah.
Someone who doesn't want to put in any work whatsoever, but just want to take advantage of what you bring to the table. That's a red flag for me. If it's financial, you must be able to carry something. Or
I mean,
do you
I
wanna live a
wouldn't
princess
advise
life?
any woman to take out credit.
No, forget the credit.
Yeah, okay.
Princess life. Let's say you move into an apartment, right?
Yeah.
He's taking care of the rent, council tax, electricity bill, water bill, and he says, "Babe, take care of the internet." I can't take care of the internet. You can't pay this £35 internet bill.
But
Why
that's
can't
not
you?
Yeah,
What do you mean, why can't you?
But I feel like this one's subjective because
Yeah, that
some
one's
men
silly.
ain't even asking you.
Yeah.
They don't even. No, don't worry. Just don't.
It's my idea.
Yeah.
I came up with it. I'm not going to strip your life,
Yeah.
princess. I'll take
Yeah.
care of it. I'm joking. But, it's like...
My red flag is a woman that doesn't want to part ways with
So
finances.
maybe what she
Or
can do is cut down
wanna-
on Uber Eats or something. I don't know.
Yeah, you don't order Uber Eats. You never take me out. I'm always taking you out. You never plan anything.
For you, the man.
For me.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If I'm the one that's always having to think about you, oh, what does this girl like? She might want a picnic. Let's go on a picnic on Saturday. We've done picnic. Let's go. I think they had that boat thing near the Thames where you can just go and sit on a boat. Or
Uber
whatever
boats,
it is.
yeah.
Do that. Whatever it is. Go to a theme park. Go to the cinemas. Go to a restaurant. I'm the one that's always planning the dates and doing stuff. And you're telling me, whilst I'm courting you, it never crossed your mind once to say,
Baby,
you know
what do you
Akeem
wanna
might
do?
like. Let me just surprise him and order in or something. You don't want to spend your money.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to spend your money. I'm
Do you know
the
what
man,
I
I'm
do
supposed
know
to
is,
spend
are
his
you
money.
Caribbean?
Yeah, I'm
A
Caribbean.
lot of Caribbean men, this is their focus point. They love the woman spend money on them.
No, because
They love it.
no, but
It it's a
No,
Caribbean man
really-
thing. I have to
So,
think
as
about
African, that's why I really
No,
struggle.
because
you
women
know?
love
Because-
women love money. So if you can part with it, it shows me that you love me.
Yeah, but African women, it's hard because, like, I think it's a certain level of pride. There's a certain level of pride that,
Yeah.
that West
Yeah.
African men have. Like,
Yeah.
even in this conversation,
Yeah.
you're not wrong, but
Yeah.
for an African man,
Yeah.
their love language wouldn't be, why don't you spend on me? I can never imagine my
Never.
dad.
AJ,
You're my
perfect
wife.
example.
Spend on me.
Never.
Your
It'll
wife's
never
African,
happen.
no?
Yeah, my wife is African.
I'm sure I was said to you the other day that, it's nice that Nana's taking you abroad.
Yeah, you did.
That's
Okay,
very
I'm
nice.
blessed enough to have a wife. that
Yeah,
does
but
that.
it's not something that should be like.
I'm not saying it's mandatory or
Yeah,
you
not
should even
mandatory, but
request it.
I know it's a with Caribbean men. It really tickles them when their wife spends money on
AJ,
it.
But
doesn't-
I feel
is that
like
nice?
Caribbean men are very
It's
different
them
than
in there.
African.
Is that not nice that
They're-
Nana
Of course it's
surprised you? Listen, please, you will not bash Caribbean men on this show.
No, I'm
please.
not bashing, but I noticed that
No,
what you're
please.
saying is true. That
Yeah.
I do believe that. I mean, it's nice if you're like man like Spider-Man and there's a Spider-Man show,
Yeah.
of course, take it. But I noticed that with Caribbean men,
Yeah.
it's like I even have
Caribbean men are
I have
different.
friends who
Yeah.
have married Nigerian men,
Yeah.
and maybe she's booked the shard for the
Yeah.
birthday. They will pay for his own birthday. It's
Yeah.
like they can't
Yeah.
take
But that's pride.
it's good. Have pride. Yes. Why should you have
She
your
said
wife
it's
Finish.
pay for things?
What?
I think it's good. Have pride.
So
yes.
what you're so AJ, what, you lot are killing me.
Sorry.
AJ, so you're telling
have
me
pride.
when Nana booked that,
Wow.
you didn't ask her, did you?
No.
It was surprise. Did
Yeah.
that not feel good to you?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
feels good, but
I
it's-
So
appreciate
he should never feel good in
No,
his
no, no. It
relationship.
should, but why is your way of feeling good? Your woman spending
No, I'm not.
money
I'm
on
not
you?
saying.
Why is that making you feel good?
So your passion
part.
always be closed.
I'm done.
no,
No, you lot are
but-
terrible. You know you lot are terrible. You know you lot are terrible.
No.
Because if you lot are saying that in the
So
entirety
none
of the marriage,
you're
the
never gonna
wife
open
should
your
never
pocket.
again.
No, 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 no,
I
no.
didn't say anything. Nothing has come out of my mouth.
No, no, no. I do.
So are
I'm
you laughing in
bantering.
agreement?
No,
or are you
no,
laughing in disagreement?
I'm bantering. I get what you
Yeah.
mean. Though. It is nice to,
Yeah.
to treat your man,
Yeah.
but it shouldn't be something that is like.
I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
No, he's saying that. This is what I think he's saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, please. You're saying what I'm saying.
This
Go
is
on,
this is what I think he's saying. As the man, right?
Yeah.
Put it like this. Okay, cool. See it as a parent.
Yeah.
You're a parent. You're a parent.
Yeah.
Are you a parent? Yeah.
No.
Okay, cool. But I'm sure you might want to be a parent one day, right?
Definitely.
You've taken care of your child, yeah, since the day they were born,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
All the way to when they've grown up.
But
Yeah?
it's different.
Wait.
Okay.
It's your duty, just like it's the
Yeah.
man's duty to be
Yeah.
provider and protector, right?
Yeah.
It's his duty because you lot are laughing about the whole
Yeah.
spend
No,
thing,
I'm
right?
laughing.
Nah, you laughed in agreement.
Yeah,
okay.
she laughed in agreement, innit?
Yeah, she laughed in agreement.
Oh,
So, right, you've been a parent.
Yeah.
Now, see, you're the parent. You're the one that brought
Yeah.
the child into the
Yeah,
world.
yeah.
See how you'd feel, yeah, come your whatever significant
Yeah.
birthday and your child did nothing. How would you feel?
Unappreciated.
Unappreciated,
Oh, thank
right?
you.
Now, let's say you now say to your child, after everything I've done for you, and they turn around and be like, oh, you should have pride.
Yeah.
Are you not the parent? I'm the child. You're
Depends
the
on
parent.
the
yeah.
age.
Depends.
Do you
No,
get
but
it?
his analogy is the same
at that
thing.
Yeah, I
point,
know what you mean. Yeah.
that's what he said.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, it
It's
would
his
be nice. You'd
responsibility.
expect it.
Yeah.
Yes, it's your duty. But just because it's your duty
He
does
doesn't
not
have-
negate the
come
fact
on.
that, oh, but why?
Yeah.
That's what
So,
he's saying.
you're saying it's a
But
custom,
I'm
son.
not
Yeah.
saying that what he's saying
Yeah.
is wrong.
So what's your standpoint? Because you've been laughing. So what's your standpoint? 'Cause all you've been doing is laughing. Yeah. Go on.
You laughed in agreement.
Yeah.
That was an agreeable, I support it, I stand by it kind of laugh.
Okay, so I get your point.
Yeah.
I get that, you want to feel like, okay, for once you're doing what I do for you. I get it. I
Yeah,
get
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I think you
But
lot are taking
I
it as the
think my
frequency. I
point-
don't
Yeah,
think
I'm
he's
not
saying
saying
frequency.
frequency, I'm just saying-
He's just saying
my point-
unwillingness.
the only thing I was laughing
Yeah.
at is because it was like, I see what she's saying
Yeah.
about like
Oh,
Jamaican
okay.
men.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, I'm
okay.
They are
Nigerian, so.
they definitely have that thing. And
Okay. Yeah.
I only know it because I've married into
An African.
Yeah.
exactly, and I see what you're speaking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
Welcome to the club.
Huh? He doesn't want me to do,
Yeah.
but I do still go.
Do
ahead.
even-
And this is
Yeah.
where
See, that's
I
what-
So
do
that's what he's
still
saying. You're
point.
even practicing what he's saying.
No, I do.
practicing what I'm
I
preaching.
get her point because it's like he
Yeah.
would have never expected it from me. But because I've even said this, like even when it comes to like cooking and everything
Yeah.
like that,
Yeah.
my husband has a way about him where he doesn't expect it. So I want to do it.
Yeah.
So it's more so that in me. If
Yeah.
he was like, if you don't do it, it means this, I most likely would be
No,
like,
do.
The opposite.
AJ, I hate birthdays. He loves birthdays, right?
Oh, I love birthdays.
I despise childhood
wow.
trauma. I despise birthdays, right?
Yeah.
My wife's always trying to plan
Push-
something for me,
oh,
but I
that's
always
nice.
tell her don't because I just
I've
I don't
clocked
like
it.
birthdays.
You know, you just made me realize
but
something.
deep down in my heart, if she actually did it, I would like it. But I always tell her not
Akeem's
to.
wife, you know
No,
what
No,
to do.
don't do it. Don't do it. It's a waste of money, please.
today.
But AJ knows I don't like birthdays. But when I deep it, right, I would like it because you've gone out of your way to do something for me.
Yeah.
Do you understand my point?
Yeah.
And if in the early stages of dating, you've never gone out of your way to do something.
Oh no,
for me,
that's rubbish.
come on,
Yeah.
that's my point.
Yeah.
How
So
can
now-
you not?
But I thought we was talking about
Yeah,
marriage.
no, we'll talk about no signs of
red flags.
Oh,
Red flags
oh,
for-
yeah.
yeah.
Dating.
Because they're not
Dating.
ready to be married.
Yes.
Okay.
Cool.
So that's
Now
my
one
point.
for the girl now, as in, if you see this in this man, this is a red flag. So there's no red flags.
No, there. Come on, man.
Thank you.
I'm trying to think of something that they haven't said.
Yeah.
Right. So a guy that's not willing to give.
Yeah.
That would be for me. That's the main thing. If he's not willing to give to you, even though you have to decipher as well, because guys, just because he's giving to you doesn't mean that.
He likes.
He's also,
Do you
Yeah.
understand what I'm
he's also
saying?
good for marriage.
So you have to decipher what he's giving to you and what sacrifice that is to him. Because if a guy, like let's say a rapper, right, millions, if he's giving you a Chanel, it doesn't really mean
Doesn't
much.
mean that.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Mm.
So you have to judge the giving according to the person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you get my point?
Yeah.
So that's what I would say is a red flag for a woman. Don't just say that. Oh, yeah, I got a Birkin, so he loves
Yeah.
me,
No.
bro. Everybody, you're one of many that got a Birkin.
Yeah.
Do you get my point?
Mm.
So
Yeah.
you have to decipher what the.
Agree.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's my point.
What would I say as the financial advisor? That's the red flag. All right. So let me start with, as a man, if you're dating a woman, this is the red flag that I would say. If she thinks your money is our money and her money is
her money,
hers,
Jesus.
red flag.
Yeah.
Absolute red flag.
Depending on your religion.
So basically, you're saying that the entire
Because Muslims
Africa. then-
believe
Yeah.
that.
No. Yeah.
I have
Is
a
that-
lot of Islamic male friends that are like, my wife's money is my wife's money.
Yeah, but that's on a religious basis. They
Yeah.
think that the woman's money is theirs and the man's.
So
money
let
is
me even be
everyone's.
more nuanced. Depending on your aim, because all these things depends on the person. Because
Yeah.
there's two types. I'll just give two examples because I can't give all. If you're a man that you're just looking for furnishing,
Yeah.
then obviously that doesn't mean anything. The red flag for you would be how committed is she to you and the future of your family. What do I mean by that? So you're a man that has everything already financially.
Yeah.
So you don't need any. You're not building. You've built.
Yeah.
You're just furnishing the house that you've built. You're just bringing her in to soften the house.
Yeah.
For you, a red flag is more literally.
She has an ick with that already. That the woman is a furniture. You know. She has an ick with that already.
No, because because the reason why I say it like that, right? For the guy that's building with the woman,
Yeah.
like what you were saying, giving,
Yeah.
vision, being
Yeah.
able to speak into it.
Yeah.
The woman ain't speaking.
I'm
If
already. I'm
LeBron
self-made.
James decides
yeah.
to remarry, not that he's divorced or anything like,
Yeah.
if someone like that, that kind of person,
But
I'm not asking. There's nothing to build. I've
Yeah.
built everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At this point, it's literally just the finishing touch. I'm just
Yeah.
adding the final 15%. What are you coming to say that you added?
I know this is me playing devil's advocate,
Yeah.
but what you're just saying, you know what we need to be clear on?
What?
Do you know how many situations where this is what you're talking about? I had to clear my throat. He would have had a woman whilst he was building,
Yeah.
and became the man that she
Yeah.
was building
Yeah.
him to
Yeah.
be.
And he left.
And he went and found
Lord.
the furniture.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because
Yeah,
there are
that's
so
what-
many
this is what I'm
women that are
saying, yeah.
building
Yeah,
men
yeah.
like they're building
Yeah.
a bear, Teddy.
Build a man.
Build a
Yes,
bear.
build a
Build a
bear.
bear.
And they're doing it with men.
Why
So-
are you giving me so that's what I'm talking about?
That's what I would say.
I have to, because what you're
Yeah.
saying when you're saying, oh, they're just bringing the furniture, blah blah blah, but you're not really
Negating the past of the woman that built him.
We
There
said
would've
the
been
red
that.
flag at the table.
Yeah.
I can't now go back into when he was in primary school.
But I wouldn't.
What's
And I think yet again that's culture, because I do notice that at most times Caribbean men do respect women that built with them, but
Yeah.
African
Yeah.
men do not. Because it's like it's effeminate.
Speak for the
Like,
African men
the
that you
fact
got.
that you even
I respect
the
that.
fact that you accepted me when I didn't,
Yeah.
I wasn't there. It's like
Yeah.
you're seen as a joke
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Praise for the yard man.
Yeah.
Then. What are you talking about?
Yeah, a lot of my growing up, a lot of my mum's friends,
Yeah.
like they've been with their partners, Caribbean partners for ages,
Yeah.
and they've been there from the beginning.
I disagree,
The men
you know.
respect it.
Yeah.
African
Don't
men,
disagree with
No,
me.
you know why I
Please,
disagree?
please
Because
don't.
I know a lot of people that their parents are still together. They're like in their late 50s, 60s, and when you hear the story of where they started to where they
Yeah,
are,
but
when
you
they
know
first
what?
came to the
She's
country.
been-
I think I'm with.
Yeah.
I'm with
I
her as
know
well.
African people like that, where when they first came to the country, they're out here washing plates and all of that
Nah.
together, and then boom, they're still here married, and now they've got everything that they want, and they're still married. Like they're still married.
Obviously, I guess it's.
That's for Jamaican men. I don't know how
No,
true that
because
is
I
because
think what
I don't
you
know if they
said-
even get to the
No,
altar.
they appreciate-
I mean, you know, marriage ain't really. marriage is not really, you're not really
I'm
in
not
the
saying it's
thing,
all the time, but most of the time, like, I
You
do have a
see
lot
that-
of
no,
Caribbean
you do.
uncles. They really
Yeah.
respect
Yeah.
Shelly.
We like that.
and
Yeah, we like that. Shelly-Ann, yes. I like that one.
Been there.
Been there.
Common
Been
law.
there, yeah.
That's when you know common
Yeah.
law. This
Yeah.
is it. Do you get me? But I do feel like with African men, it's like
Yeah.
they have a sense of pride when it comes to finance.
Too much pride.
When you're doing the whole like, I'm gonna be there, I'm gonna be building.
Yeah.
Leave me. They won't.
Yeah.
They'll marry their
And that's the one that would have went through
Wow.
the
And that's what a lot of my
Wow. So is that what African men are doing?
Yeah, a lot of my
Wow. I didn't know.
Caribbean friends, like the women especially, they will go for some of these African guys that will maybe leverage off the fact that they didn't have healthy masculine figures, so they just don't understand,
Yeah.
and then they will end up now marrying a fellow Nigerian or Ghanaian.
Oh.
But a lot of the men in my family all married to Caribbean women.
Wow.
Well, I'm married to African women, so
I was saying this to my husband. So please, why? Explain it.
I think I always say it's like the 1985 to 90 lot. They kind of like married a lot of like Caribbean women, the shy ones, the ones that weren't yardy, the ones that will wear
Whoa.
one clip in their hair.
Yeah,
Oh, is that
and
your
then-
hair? Yeah,
yeah.
just got one clip.
mean
Like
yardy?
it's very low key and.
What do you mean the ones that weren't yardy?
why are we digressing?
you
Hello,
know-
I'm
Oh,
giving
yeah.
red
I'm
flags.
very, like-
Okay,
I'm
giving red flags
Sorry,
here,
sorry,
bro.
sorry, sorry.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
most of the men in my family are
Yeah.
married to Caribbean women.
Yeah.
Cool, we'll come back to that.
Yeah.
Now, this is the red flag that I would say
Yeah.
before I was really interrupted because
of
it's
the
a crime. Because it's a crime. Like, I'm saying, look, essentially, kind of what you said, like financially, right? If you're with someone that you have to second guess that if times were to change and
Yeah.
get tough,
Yeah.
even for a season,
Yeah.
they would not step in and
Yeah.
despite everything you've done.
Yeah.
Like if they're the type of person that look, you could be consistent for 19 years.
Yeah, that one year
20
comes,
something
yeah.
just happened.
Yeah.
And they won't even give you the grace to be like, do you know what? I know what you've done.
Yeah.
I've got you until you get back on your feet.
Yeah.
Red flag. Because at the end of the day, you're trying to marry this person
Yeah.
forever,
Yeah.
not have some
But how
glory.
would you know that?
How would you know
How
that?
would you know that in the beginning? So I want to know how someone can see that in the
In the
beginning.
beginning.
You can't.
No, you can.
Wait. That times are going to change.
No. How they are in terms of
If
hold.
they were leave.
So let's say,
Yes,
for example,
if you're telling me you can't, I've left my wallet, it's just a trick, and you're telling me no. Why would I think that if I'm paying for everything for 5 years straight and then my business, whatever happens,
What doesn't
recession.
Sit, what doesn't sit right with
Yeah.
that for me
Yeah.
is the fact that it was a trick.
no, forget the
Yeah.
trick.
It's the trick.
Okay, forget the trick. Let's say he genuinely left the wallet in the car. The wallet's in the car. You saw the wallet, right? It's in the car.
Oh, that's fine.
You
No,
go
but you're
to-
saying that
go
you're
to
actually
the car.
saying you're just saying go. Let's say he
The
parked.
car ain't that far away.
Come
so let me
on.
tell you the answer because I was asked the question. This is what I
I'm
mean.
gonna wait. The way ain't going nowhere.
Oh my god!
Where's the way again?
This is
She's
what I
telling
would
me
say.
to go back to the car.
Why are you in a rush to pay? Why are we rushing to pay?
My belly, you
Say your way.
This is what I would say. This is what I would say.
sorry.
Literally. Like, no, genuinely.
go,
if,
go.
like, for example, it's a 10, let's even call it a 10 to 1 ratio.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
never like that. It's probably
Yeah.
like 20 to
Yeah.
1, 50 to 1. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, when me and my wife goes out, she bro, there's, you know, there was times that she doesn't even come with any form, because she
Yeah.
knows that
That's what I like.
he's
Yeah.
gonna sort
Yeah.
it.
That's what you
But
like, but his wife
in
will
the
pay
day-
the day that he forgets
In
his
the
wallet.
day
she'll
that,
pay.
yeah, of
that I
course, yeah.
You're
forget,
saying you wouldn't.
I'm
if she,
thinking,
my
I
wife
would.
won't, my wife
Okay.
won't pay, then
Yeah.
say, so, can you transfer
Yeah, can you transfer it back?
Do you understand? It's things like that. It's
Okay.
like, yes,
That's crazy.
you're upset
But you
with
was
it.
dating. But this is when dating. That's why I want you to.
Yeah, so
I mean,
I'm
when-
getting confused. We're talking about dating,
It's
right?
the
It's not
willingness.
marriage. It's not marriage.
It's-
Marriage is a different thing because you lot are tied. Whatever.
It doesn't
legally.
matter. If you forgot your wallet,
Dating. How
Dating,
do you?
the willingness. If she, whilst you're dating her,
Would-
shows
yeah,
you that she's unwilling,
Yeah, why would you marry
I
her?
will never contribute. I will never spend on you.
Yeah, why would you marry that
Like,
person?
even if it's, for example, let's say restaurants, yeah, you're the one that's whining and dining, so you're going to take her out often. No problem. Let's say it gets to something like a birthday, Christmas, and it's like she doesn't reciprocate, or it's like, yes, I expect gifts, I
Yeah.
don't give gifts. Even when you're going out
But
to
that's
eat,
crazy though.
oh, that's not
even
nice.
when
Yeah,
you're going out to eat,
Yeah.
if you've gone out 10 times and the 11th,
Yeah, it's
she
wild.
doesn't have any inclination, and
Yeah.
she's like, oh my God, on the 11th, I should pay. How
Yeah,
dare.
it's wild.
It's mad.
Oh, yeah.
Because
It's wild.
you're telling me now, we're not even in a relationship
Yeah.
where
But there are
I'm
some
your
men that
leader.
don't want
We
that.
never
saying
said
that.
One
that.
That's
minute
not
men
what
are
we're
supposed to
saying.
be
We never
providers.
said
When
that.
we let you
No,
provide,
that's
you're
not what we're
complaining.
saying. Nobody's saying to switch
God.
roles. What he's saying is
Yeah.
that
If you're that unwilling, you lot are just tapped. You're just tapped. You're tapped.
Wait, what?
No,
Yeah, tapped.
You're tapped. You're tapped.
Okay, so
Because-
What did I do?
Because that's like having a child that forever will be unwilling to do anything for the parent in the name of I'm not your child. I'm not the parent.
Wild.
It's your responsibility. Don't ask me for anything. Why are you not self-sufficient?
Yeah, it's wild.
No, deep it. Imagine you had a child.
Of course, like when it comes to like
No, not when it comes to. That's the double standard that women have. Oh,
you're laughing
because you keep challenging what I'm saying.
Keep making me laugh.
Because you keep challenging what I'm saying. Like I don't get it. What's your problem?
That is true. It's a red flag. If my younger brother,
so you're agreeing with us now. Okay,
if my younger brother told me,
when it's your younger brother, you see that there's some
red flag.
Yeah,
this side house. It's in-house. It's in-house.
I'm like, okay. How dare
you see, women. You see, women. If another girl is doing that to your sibling, is when you go.
After God, you fear.
No, but all bad on the side, I agree with what you're saying. There has to be a level of like willingness, especially if you guys are locked in and you're dating, because what you see in the dating is what you're going to see in the marriage.
Thank you.
Because look, she can't even do it. She can't even do it now. She can't even pay for Nando's. God forbid you end up in a crisis.
But why are you with someone who can't pay for Nando's?
No, she's unwilling.
She's unwilling.
It's not that she doesn't have the £20. She's just unwilling.
Oh.
Yeah. So if someone's unwilling to pay for Nando's, how can they be willing to cover rent?
What should she cover anyway?
In a time of crisis.
Yeah.
Wow. Is this the mindset of African women? I just want to know. Is this the mindset of African women?
And these are the same people that will fight to go and work. They're going to fight to go and earn income, and then
they keep it in their pocket.
Keep it
my income.
So, genuine question: is that the mindset of like the majority of African women? That
not for I'm third generation African, so not my family.
So you're a bit diluted. So you're not.
Yeah, I'm very diluted.
Okay.
So like, so I didn't come from a family that was like, I was a man.
Yeah. But that's what the culture is.
Yeah.
Wow.
So look, to me, it's not. It's just knowing.
No,
I haven't had a chance to even get to the bread flag because you want to fight. Now this is a 2-hour episode. We haven't even done an episode. God,
finished. Go on.
Literally, if she's unwilling, because nobody knows tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because then you have someone that's like, yes, when all was good, I was with you. Oh, wow, times went tough. Yeah. Sorry, I'm divorcing you.
Yeah.
And then you just be there thinking, I did my part. What did I do to deserve this? Yeah. So to avoid that, not to say that.
These are the signs.
These are the signs. Now, as a woman, because watch them not argue for word now.
All in agreement.
Only agreement. As a woman, if you were my daughter, and I'm saying, right, you're telling me that this is how this guy is financially, and it's a red flag. If this guy can't say what he does in a sentence, it's a red flag. It's a red flag. Wow. If you ask him how does he earn his money, and he says
fraud boy,
impersonate sports, or
business,
I just do business,
or business.
Like he cannot
sign it. Yeah.
What do you do?
I agree.
And I'm hearing sentences, paragraphs, stories. I just, move around, I just do a couple of things, facilitate a couple of things, oversee a couple of things, anything like that, red flag. I even give you a bonus one. If his finances are not in order, it's a red flag. Yeah. Because that's how you go and marry someone and then now they're bankrupt, now you're bankrupt. Yeah. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Like, and it's all about, because obviously there's always exceptions to rules, but the reason why there are generalizations is to protect you.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, because I know someone's gonna say, but my man, he was this, he didn't have no financial stability. We got through it, and yes, you wanted to take that risk.
Yeah.
All these things, when people generalizations are there to mitigate risk.
Yeah.
It's to reduce the probability of it happening, because we don't know. So to protect you from because you can't do everything case by case.
Yeah.
How can you experience everything to come and figure it out?
no.
Do you understand? You know that if you run across the M25, it's likely that you will die. Why would you want to try it to find out?
To say if you're the exception.
Or because you might be the exception. You actually might be the exception, but do not put yourself in a situation where the odds of it failing is higher than the odds of it succeeding. Hence why we have the generalizations. So one of the generalizations that I would say for women, one, ask him about his finances. Mm-hmm. How open or closed he is also going to be a red flag.
I'll say go as far as go and experience and download each other's credit reports.
You're doing that's too much.
I think
I think if you want to
legally,
ask
him.
No, if you want to legally join yourself in marriage as a black person in this country, look at people's credit report. I want to see how many.
Of course.
How many years have you got? IVA? Anything going to be dissoluted? How much credit card balance? What do you? These are things you need. I wish I had.
Yes, you should investigate their thing. I mean, as for downloading the report, I mean, look, if he's unwilling to even share, maybe.
But it depends on what stage of the relationship.
If you're talking about you want to propose to this woman,
that's actually a good idea.
Yeah,
doing that.
Please let me see.
Stage.
How many sensible women are going to do that?
Huh?
Hey, we're telling them what to do.
sensible.
Whether they decide to
Yeah.
do it or not is
Yeah.
on them.
True.
But literally, like, if his financial, like, you're supposed to have the genuine, real conversations. You should
Yeah.
be discussing. So how are we going to do with rent?
Yeah.
Are we doing 50-50? Are you paying for everything? What? Do not wait to be married to have these conversations. Have it now so that if minds need to change, then minds can change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People can bring their ideas as to why they're saying this, why they're saying that.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, so because that's where I think girls go wrong. You have the expectation that you're going to be living a princess life.
And then
You get there and they're saying, oh, he's this, da, da, da. However, have the conversation. Say to him, well, do you know what? I'm under the guise and expectation that the man pays for everything and I do. He might say to you in a respectful way, because if it was me, I would say, we can do that when we have kids. At the moment, it's just me and you. And yet, you still want to go to work. So what is your income doing? Why don't we use, for example, combined our incomes, meaning that we both will have less expenses rather than you have zero expenses, I have all the expenses. And then we can take that difference to have a common goal. That common goal might be buying a property. That way, you also feel you got equity. Because the last thing you want is, okay, cool, no worries.
It's my house.
But when I buy the property and I lose all of my money, your name's not on the house.
Who would do that?
Who would
Who
do that
would
to their
sign
house?
up in marriage to do that? Nobody.
No, but you're
say
not
nobody,
willing
there's
to,
somebody.
you're not willing to put anything
No, but
in.
you
So
shouldn't
when I
marry that
get there, why
person.
should
if
you have
that's how
anything?
you're gonna do it, don't marry them.
I'm just saying, like, I don't know how the things end. Like, I'm just saying in general, bro.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. I'm saying in that instance.
But do you understand? Have the conversation so everybody has the expectation. Everybody knows whether to walk away or accept, because everyone has what they want. If you're willing to compromise, then you'll find out there and there. But to me, red flag if he says, so what do you do? How do you earn your money? And it's all up, down, left, right, and there's no pinpoint.
There's no pinpoint,
And all of that, that's a red flag already, because you're just gonna be unboxing all kinds of, somebody one day will be knocking on your door saying that he owes this. Then he will just disappear. Then before you know it, you're having to now borrow him 70K. Like, you're getting into ridiculous debts. You're just gonna find yourself in a situation that you don't want to be in. So that's what I would say personally.
Okay.
If it was my daughter. If you want to live a certain life and your man's profession
That's not.
does just the statistics of what that profession pays and where he is doesn't remotely correlate with the kind of lifestyle that you want, and he also has no intention of upskilling, reskilling, moving, darling. Unless you want to reduce what kind of life you want to have, that's another thing that you need to think about. Because you be here saying that you want to be doing global, international, beyond Europe flights, first class, business class with the family, and you want him to be doing provision where, you know, you're a stay-at-home mum, just literally focusing on the nurturing and taking care of the children.
Yeah, you need to be honest with yourself.
And then he's telling you that he's an assistant nurse in NHS.
Good night.
I'm not saying the job is bad. I'm saying for what you say that you want.
But I get what you're saying. It's like
you need to understand, because otherwise you'll be in a situation where you're married and you're waiting. You're waiting. Yeah, he'll get there. He'll get there. He has to be showing you the signs, the evidence that this is what he's doing. If it scales, because it's already a proven concept. Yeah, he's proven that it works. It's now about scale. Yeah. From there, that's what you can back. Because at the end of the day, nobody invests in a business that doesn't exist. Yeah. Investors want to invest in something where you can say, look, I've been doing it. Yeah. I've got it to this level. Yeah. With this investment, I could take it there. It will take it to this level faster. Yeah. That's what that's what they want. Nobody wants to just invest in an idea. Mm-hmm. And that's the other thing, like what you're saying about potential. Yeah. Women. We need to see some evidence of this potential. Yeah. And like, if it was my daughter, what I would be saying, let's say she said to me, "Oh, Dad, he's an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur how? Tell me what his business is." Well, Dad, he doesn't really have a business, but he has an idea. What's the idea? This is the idea. What has he done towards that idea?
So we need to teach women how to vet. Essentially, what you're saying.
And women will only learn how to vet when they stop seeing men as the enemy. Yeah. So when we're like, because when men are saying this is this, oh, he's this, no, we're saying this out of care for you so that you don't learn by saying, do you know what you said was right.
I don't know. That's true. I feel like it's having balance, because one thing I think, I'm more open to hearing from women that have done or are in the position that I would desire to be in when it comes to certain topics, especially like relationships, because it's hard to hear it from a man sometimes because you don't understand the things that are operating and the things that are working. So I know that men are saying stuff because they care or they're trying to help us, but I feel like you look, it's like when women try to tell men, and it's like, stop talking about men to men. Another man needs to speak to you, just like another, and that's what I'm very big on. So for me, it's like I don't try and take the position of a man and talk to men. I can give my opinion, but I'm not about to do that. I need women.
Where women will come with to men. See, women can tell men about the psyche of women.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
Men have to tell women about the psyche of men, but women tend to not want. Women want to hear from a woman as to what a man should be. That's not how it works. Because you're not, do you understand? As a man, as a father to a daughter, that's the perfect person to tell you the expectation that you should have for this new person.
No, some people's parents are the reason they're in
we're not
messed up
talking
marriages.
about those.
Hold on, why is that when you go generally, you always think of the worst case scenario? Why? We're talking about sane fathers.
Yeah.
We're talking
Sensible
about
fathers,
people that have had sensible dads. Not dads that have abandoned them to go and be dangling at Nottingham Carnival.
I just had to pull it out there. I'm sorry. I had to pull it out there because it's true. Parents can sometimes use their own traumas and put it into the child's head.
We're not talking about that.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about in the goods. We're talking about like how you expect your dad to tell you that, look, you ever expect your dad to come and tell you that, yes, if this man lays hands on you, it's all right, depending on what you lays hands. Do you understand? The same way your dad would never say that. And what he would tell you to expect would be sound, instruction. That's the same thing. Of course, don't go and listen to men that.
No, but the thing is, if you're the child of that father, you wouldn't know that what he's telling you is not sound. You just listen. It's your normal. It's your norm. I'm sorry, I have to say
no,
it.
but you said in the beginning, once
right,
let's say your dad was giving you bad advice as a young girl. When you grow up, you come to an age where you realize that that's a bad advice and you have to do internal work.
But not
to
everybody
work on
gets
yourself.
to that.
Not everybody gets what?
But not everybody gets to that point where they realize that some people are living the lives that they live because it was normal in their household.
But you were saying that they should do introspection and work on themselves.
Yeah, but he was talking about that would be the perfect person to tell you, but not always. It's not always the perfect person.
Well,
crackheads.
Fair enough. Like, I mean, you lot have decided to find crackhead fathers. Fathers behind bars. Like, flipping hell, like. You lot are just looking for all the worst fathers, isn't it? The worst fathers in life. Like, what the hell? Like, not every dad is one of those.
No,
but
I hear it.
I definitely, like, if you meet a man with integrity, that's honest, he will tell you. And it's just how you receive that. Because if I was telling a girl right now, and she was telling me, oh yeah, this man is just trying to fly me out, wine and dine me. Where'd you meet? Like, the questions I'll have is, where did you meet the man? How long have you known this man?
Yeah, it's dangerous.
He's trying to fly you out to where? Why does he want to fly you out?
So they're going to do charm on you. What are you going to do now?
We saying charm.
Yeah, now she's taking it into the village. Nobody's flying anyone out to the village. But do you get what I'm saying? As a genuine guy, I won't be like, yeah, go. Like, you see, it's your female friends that'll be like, go, enjoy, spend this money, all of that.
It will be your female friends.
You've been ushered. You've gone there trying to finesse him.
Yeah, he's finessed.
And then now you're in a situation you don't want to be in. Whereas a decent guy, if it was your brother, if it was your own blood brother, you think your own blood brother would be like, go let him fly you out. No. He would be asking all the questions about the intentions of that man.
Where's he flying you to?
Where'd you know him from?
Who'd you know in that area?
Do you
Who do you know that can vet him? Your friends are not going to tell you those things. They're going to be like, make sure you get them all so you can get whilst you're there.
Who told you? What sort of girl?
I don't know how many girls that like.
The same four fathers that behind bars that you are doing. The same fathers. The same fathers that you lot are thinking of. It's the daughters of those fathers. Let's say what girls, what fathers. It's them.
Good, great point.
They're all in the same family. Those people, they were there.
It's a great point.
But that's what I would say, because like a lot of the time, both parties, like both men and women, you need to think of the end goal first and use that to carve that will carve the path for you. For example, if you know you want to earn 100K a year, how are you ever going to be enrolling to be a TA?
Yeah.
What teaching assistant have you seen earn 100 grand?
Wow.
But you see, once you know that that's what you want, you see how it filters it out very quickly for me. You see how you know that, right? I need to be
X, Y, and Z.
The next thing is, okay, what industries pays that? What are the roles that pay that? And then it filters it out. That's why I talk about reverse engineering. So if you're a woman, I want a certain type of man that is, of a certain maybe faith, with a certain status and a certain mindset. Okay,
where do those
what group
of people
tends to produce that kind of man. Do you tend to find that man in the music industry? Are they rappers?
Yeah, no.
Do they tend to be drug dealers? Do you understand? So it filters it out for you for already.
Yeah, what you're saying is right.
It filters it out for you already versus you don't reverse engineer it. You just go into it and hope this becomes this.
Nope. Don't do
And then you
that.
be standing there complaining.
Don't do that.
So that's what I would say.
Cool.
I mean, so to wrap up, what's the one takeaway that you would say that each person will have a turn to say? What's the one thing that you would say that, look, apart from the day and all the clothing and how nice you're going to look, this is something that you really, really, really need to consider and brace yourself for when you get into marriage?
Who's go first?
Yeah, you go first. So this is like basically for them to get insight. After all, it's called Insight with Ayo, right?
Yeah.
As married people, it's like, look, we're telling you before you arrive. This is something you won't know.
Like I said, I've been with my partner for 15 years now. I said the biggest thing is if you're gonna get married to someone, you have to compromise. If you can't compromise on anything, then there's no point in getting married. Because if that thing gets tested, the marriage won't last.
Okay.
If you understand what I'm saying. So that would be the biggest thing for me. So on my wedding day, I'm thinking, this is a lifetime commitment because I'm not doing divorce. Like the baby mom thing, I've already seen baby moms knocking on doors and doing the whole I can't live that life. So me and you are going to be together forever. So I have to make a decision now that whatever it takes, it has to work. You understand? So even if I feel strongly about whatever this thing is, if you are in the opposite, that we have to come and meet somewhere in the middle, which is both of us compromising. Sometimes I might have to compromise more than you have to, but being willing to do so. So that would be my thing.
Amazing.
Yeah, sounds good. My one would be respecting boundaries and respecting boundaries and understanding the person you're with and their non-negotiables and not
Testing it.
testing
Yeah.
because that one you have to know if it I feel like if you're going to marry someone, understanding someone's boundaries is essentially showing them that you respect them.
Yeah.
And if respect is for me, respect is a big thing, and that's been that way from when I was young. I want respect over everything. And so when I read you not respecting my boundary, not adhering to my boundaries as you don't respect me. So because I'm going to respect your boundaries. So my thing is respecting boundaries and reciprocity. So do you reciprocate the same energy I give you? And that's for me.
Sounds like a Jamaican. Yeah, Jamaican people are big on respect.
Yeah.
They don't take
respect
disrespect.
It's true though. Because I can't come back from it. I can't. You see, once I feel like you don't respect me,
It's a shame, innit?
it's like
it's
everything's
over.
done. Everything's done. You don't value me.
Honestly.
You don't value me, and we can't we can't mesh.
Can't take disrespect.
Me not take night intimidation.
I'm finished.
What would you say, Jazzmine?
As somebody's divorced, I would say don't marry someone who isn't kind. Be kind. Men, be kind to your woman. Women, be kind to your man. Like, have a gentle heart when it comes to your person. And I think the one indicator of knowing that somebody's your person is if literally you feel like your heart is mush. Like, it's like they are your egg. Have you seen the egg theory where it's just like, this is my egg, I don't want to drop it? Like, they have to be like your egg. And I would say also understand that energy is law and everything is transactional. What you reap is what you sow. My mum always used to say, you can't sow plantain and reap cassava. So don't start none, won't be none. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I also think you have to have a level of respectful reverence for your partner. You know, even me now as a big age, I'm still a little bit, not scared of my dad, like he'll beat me, but it has to be that like, well, I know my wife is not a dickhead, you know, or my husband's not a dickhead. I would never marry somebody that's not scared of me again. don't marry somebody that isn't afraid to lose you.
Yes.
Ooh, good point.
Yes.
They have to like
Yes.
they have to be
Respect.
They have to be like they have to have that certain level of like reverence around you. Where it's not to say that if your wife walks into you have to jump, but you stand up. You know, that's your wife. And when your husband comes, it's like, that's my husband.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can't show somebody that before you're married because they're not your spouse. But yet again, they have to revere after you. Also respect of your culture as well. Like you two are two people coming together to make your own internal culture as well. Also understanding their own triggers, letting go of any unhealthy attachments as well. Watch them how they react to drugs, to alcohol. When they're down, do they spend? Do they drink? Like these are just little things that you have to. And also don't marry anybody that can't be accountable to a higher power or like authority. If they can't be accountable to authority, they're not. Even though as a woman, they're not the person to marry.
Yeah.
Every day, me now want to listen. Okay.
Wait, were you married to a Jamaican?
No, he's Bayesian.
Oh, okay. That's why you got a Bayesian accent.
Bayesian.
That wasn't Jamaican.
Hey, all good advice that you've been receiving. So, what would I say as the one thing as a married man of 3 years to a wonderful Ghanaian woman? What would I say? Don't marry someone that doesn't have the same fundamental, non-negotiable core value as you. If that person has the opposite core value, it's only a matter of time.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is, because it's easy to say same faith, but how you view and revere God can even be different. And you can even be both Christian and think that, okay, if Jesus is or God is the same, is the thing in common, then it's enough. Yeah. It needs to be deeper than that. It needs to be, how deep and how aligned are we on that? So, for example, my stance, by the grace of God, is to never divorce, no matter the situation.
Yeah.
My wife also has that. So, on the back of an argument, there isn't okay, cool. Depending on the degree of how heated the argument is,
it will never come to mind.
Are we divorcing next week?
Yeah.
Am I going to be served papers?
Yeah.
Do you get it? So what I would say is no, because like some people don't. It's like it's not that. It's like no. There's an element for it. I'm waiting. Just do this and I'm going. Versus
it's a line that you can cross where you can divorce.
Yeah. It's like, do you know what I mean? Like you want that almost parental-child relationship in your marriage. You see how no matter what happens between you and your parent, they're always going to be your parent.
Yeah.
Don't come and bring the parents.
He's saying the commitment. He's not.
You see when it was Jazzmine. Yes. Nina, you want to come and find my parents?
Okay, I'm stopping. I'm done.
Wow.
The point is someone that has committed to this as you are, so that even when the feeling, because if you don't have someone that's grounded, you're going to be governed by emotion, and emotions are things that change by the hour, by the day, by the minute, by the week. So you're going to be in a place of uncertainty forever. Whereas if it's like, do you know what? I know that this man is committed. It doesn't matter how mad of a situation we just had. I'm not going to be thinking that, this guy's going on. When he's on his laptop, I'm not wondering. So is he typing how to download divorce files? Or like, no, you know that it's just, as for this, we're committed to it.
We'll get over whatever.
We'll get over it. By tomorrow, when everyone's calmed down, we're good again.
About it again. Yeah, I agree.
So that's what I would say, the core values. Not someone that, well, I will sacrifice the family for my happiness.
Yeah, like most women.
Sorry. Was it a sacrifice
I was clearing my throat.
I will sacrifice the family for my happiness.
Did you hear that again?
So because I didn't feel happy for a week, it therefore warrants divorce.
No,
or it therefore warrants...
See, for me, what's scarier is, because I wasn't happy with what my wife was doing, I went out there to do something.
And that's what I'm exactly saying.
Yeah.
That one.
You don't... Yeah.
But that's not divorce sometimes. That's just going out there and cheating.
Divorce or any bad thing. Because
fine.
Because it's like, what do you want us to say? Like every scenario under the sun. Divorce, physical abuse, cheating, verbal abuse. I can't list everything, bro.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's what I would say. Be with someone that, the core values are aligned and they really, really adhere to that thing.
Yeah.
And then you'll be fine. Because the point is, you want to be with someone that, because the vows are through thick and thin, for better or for worse. That's the vows. So don't say the vows and just expect the half.
Yeah.
Or the for better. Or the thick. Go with someone where it's like, no, if things were to go bad, I'd still be with this person.
Yeah.
If things were to get hard, I'd still be with this person.
I feel like for my situation, I also feel like sometimes men can weaponize that, you know.
Weaponize what?
No, you're
So
right.
women can't weaponize it.
No,
are you
you're
saying
right.
women don't
No,
weaponize it?
I'm not saying they can't.
No,
But I would say people sometimes, if they know that you're going to stay,
Yeah, say people.
Men
they
do
will
it.
weaponize
People
it.
do it.
Men do it. Because,
That's why it's
because
both
if we're
parties.
honest,
Yes, yeah, go on.
statistics prove that
No.
women are the ones that women are the
file.
ones that file the divorce,
Yes.
right? They're
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
But that is because when you are explaining to a man,
Yeah.
this is my issue,
Yeah.
please stop. And you're talking and talking and talking, and it's like he's not hearing you.
Yeah.
You're contributing to the end result, right?
Yeah.
And that is how they're weaponizing.
They'll push you out.
Yeah, because you're
How
you're
can he push you
stuck.
out of
You're
something that you said
frustrated.
you can't get out of?
No, because you're frustrated at this point, and it's like you don't even respect me. You don't.
Okay.
You must not love me because I've
it's
spoken
hard.
to you, and I've
Yeah.
spoken to you, I've spoken to you, and you still aren't changing.
So you're saying this is what every woman do?
No, because she's saying that they weaponize.
Men. So you're
When-
generalizing men that men weaponize the
I
fact
said
that.
from my point of view.
Oh,
my
from your point of
experience,
view.
So that's what I'm saying, and
Okay.
I agree because I see what.
So
she
why is that
means.
being added into my takeaway for the people? When I'm trying to wrap up my show.
My bad, my
Me that's trying to wrap up my show. You've taken my takeaway to start a new talking point to explain why my takeaway is not takeaway.
I'm finished.
Go on.
So as I was saying, that's my takeaway. Find someone that you share the same core values, the same vision and goal for your marriage, which is to be there forever. Of course, if you're also someone that you want to divorce, find someone else that wants to divorce and be happy before you come and start saying that I didn't include you, so I've included you as well. So on that note, it's been a good episode.
Very good.
This was Inside with Ayo. Thank you to all my guests that came and gave some valuable gems. And I hope that you guys have learned something and can take something away. And obviously, if I didn't say it on my own show, it would be bad. Please do not die for free. Some of you that are planning to be married, if you pass away, your spouse will now have to be on GoFundMe to beg to bury you. You don't want that. So what you should do is have life insurance and make sure that at any age you pass away, life insurance is not for people that are planning to pass away young, but for people that are planning for the time when they pass away to make sure that their family is not destitute and left begging for $4,000 or setting up WhatsApp family group chats and now causing family division because somebody had to pay more for a funeral, XYZ. So that's what I would say. No, it's not personal. I mean, me personally, I lost my dad when I was 16. My family didn't have to be on GoFundMe. Thank God. But I saw the financial impact that it had. So I'm saying this so that, people can, take it seriously. Because it is serious.
Yeah.
Because when you don't and you're on GoFundMe, trust me, I'll be in the Bahamas with my family. It's not my family.
Yeah.
It's going to be yours. So do it for you. Don't do it for me. You don't even need to use me as the advisor. Find an advisor that you like and trust, but get it done. That's what I would say. So on that note, it's Inside with Ayo. See you on the next episode.
Yeah.